Stories Podcast, your number one show for everything guitar.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Dan.
Hello, Andy. It's good to be back. Hello, everyone in the chat as well.
Hey, everybody.
Which
We
episode are
have
we?
number, I want to say 56.
Yeah, you're right. 100% right.
Cool.
56.
I'm glad I didn't just grab that from the air somewhere. I only remember because Henning was complaining so much last week that it was episode 55 that we waited to get him on the show.
Yeah, you're right.
I thought he was a great guest. I really enjoyed chatting with him. We got deep. We got, it was a bit silly. He shot off at the beginning, but I really enjoyed chatting with Henning last week. I hope if you haven't heard, seen, watched that, go back and watch it after this one, because this week we've got Yvette Young. So excited. Again,
Yes.
she is back with her Spidey powers, maybe.
And with some new gear as well.
With some
So
new gear,
looking
yeah.
forward.
We've got a cracking video she's released. We're going to play that later with her on the show. She can give us like a director's commentary or something like that.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah, that would be good. But let's see who's in the chat so far. We've got Cranar. Hello, Cranar. We've got JC. We've got Michael McFall. We've got Valerie. We've got Ra. We've got Michael. We've got Charlie Cooper from Orange. Hello, Charlie Cooper. We've got Sarang. And that's oh, Pooh Ninja's here. Hello,
Oh,
Pooh.
Ninja, yeah.
Yeah, so it's winter, Dan. It's super dark outside.
Dark, it's cold, it's stormy. We had snow. You had snow too, right?
Oh yeah, so much snow.
That's
We
amazing.
have snowman in the garden. His carrot nose keeps falling off, and my kids keep asking why. And I try to explain global warming, and they just don't seem to understand it. He's 4 and 6. They should have a grasp of weather. I'm trying to think of a posh name for weather, but I'll just call it weather.
Yeah.
We've got
Yeah, plain and simple,
RGH27, Rex FX, Nathan, Josh. Hello, Josh from Iowa.
Ooh.
Also, Dan, we have quite a few, I want to say famous people, but certainly people that I respect. Not that I don't respect the people I've just mentioned, but certainly people in the industry that listen and watch. I'm
wow.
quite
Yeah.
surprised. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hello to
yeah.
you. Oh, by the way, a little plug. This mug was made by Neha, which is the girlfriend of Sarang. She made that for me, and I gave one to my mum, and I have one. So the mug that I'm currently drinking from was made by her fair hands. Old Stone Ceramics, I believe, to give it the plug.
Right.
Sarang, let me know if that's correct or not. You feel free to drop the Instagram link in the chat because she makes a fine mug, and I'm enjoying the drink.
You're receiving quite a few presents, my friend. We got the Fronemans.
Christmas.
Yeah, well, yeah, there you go.
Speaking of Fronements, here's one. It's going to be going live on eBay. So the auction to bid on this to raise money for charity is going to be live on eBay in about 10 minutes. We're going to do that live on the show. But, Dan, with your permission, we have some news. Should we do some news?
All right. Yeah, let's roll.
Alrighty then. Dan, do you
Yep.
remember the program Winamp?
I do, very vividly.
I'm going to take you back now. Have a listen to this.
All right.
Winamp. It really whips the llama's ass.
Oh my god, so many memories.
I'm
I had
instantly
such a big
transported.
collection of skins. Yeah. Did you collect skins too?
Oh yeah, I'd actually forgotten about that.
That was amazing. You could customize
Ah.
it. You had different EQs, and that was amazing. What
It
do you
was
remember
to-
any song you listened on Winamp or any album? I mean, that was the time of MP3s, obviously, but
I remember skipping through Metallica songs. I think
Okay.
what would everything was Winamp. Every possible part. Well, it says on the screen right now. It says NSYNC. I believe I had an NSYNC album. The reason we're talking about Winamp is that they're rebranding it. Apparently they're still around. You can still use Winamp. I did not know that. Winamp is still downloadable and updated. And isn't that news, Dan? That enough is news, I think.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
they're turning it into a social network to connect with musicians. And I saw this on various news outlets and thought it's not really news, but I just wanted an excuse to play the jingle.
Winamp. It really whips the llama's ass.
You're just showing a screen of Winamp. What does it say under my thumbnail? What does it
It
say?
says set
the tone.
the tone.
All right. Well,
I've joined up for the beta. You can join up for the beta if you like by going to Winamp's website. I don't really know much about what they're going to do with it, but I felt so nostalgic. I had to mention it, had to give them a little plug. I don't know if it's going to work because it seems a bit MySpace to me, but who knows? Who knows?
at least it provided us the chance to kind of dive back and have some old memories, reminisce a little bit about the old times.
I think I even designed skins. I think I was that geeky.
Yeah. Wow. Well, you're the guitar geek, so back in the day you were the skin geek.
That's a whole different subject. Oh yeah, we've got in case you're watching, we've got Sarang's partner's pottery plug, which is instagram.com/Old Stone Ceramics, 100% endorsed by the Guitar Geek and the Guitar Stories podcast. Yeah, go and spend some nice money. She's got some good stuff. I just bought some for my mum for Christmas. Yeah. All right. So we've got more news. It's not just about Winamp and stuff like that. We've got the Beatles have a new release, or rather, Peter Jackson. Dan, the Get Back documentary. Have you seen it yet?
Not yet, but I've read so many good things. I've received so many messages from people telling me to watch it. It must be pretty good. Did you already have a sneak peek into the documentary?
I've queued it up on Disney Plus. I haven't watched it because I'm waiting for my home cinema to arrive. My speakers. I'm just on a flat screen TV at the moment. It sounds awful.
All right.
And the first thing I'm going to play through that is probably the Winamp jingle, just to 5.1 surround Winamp kicking llamas' asses. But no, short answer, no, Dan. I haven't seen this documentary, but I am going to watch it on Saturday night, all things being well. And then we can talk about it again next week. But I think I just want to bring it to people's attention because there's guitars in it. The last time the Beatles did something big was, for me, the anthology series where they did they revisited some of their old outtakes and had these cassettes and CDs, and that changed my life. I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for that release. So I'm thinking that this documentary is going to do the same, hopefully, for another generation, another breed of musicians. This could be their in. So that's why I'm mentioning it. And if you haven't seen it yet, then maybe. Apparently it's really good, as Dan said, and it's been recommended. It's worth it just for George Harrison's trousers on that picture. Green trousers.
All right. So queue it up on Disney Plus if you have the chance to. And next week we can talk about it. Will be a very interesting chat too.
And get Disney Plus, because then you can also watch the Book of Boba Fett, which we will be talking about in the future as well.
Did you watch the latest trailer?
I did.
Oh my gosh. 30 seconds of goosebumps.
Yeah, I'm happy they've taken it down to 7 episodes. I'd rather have less good stuff than more filler.
Yeah. All killer, no filler.
All killer.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, just like this podcast, which, may I bring to everybody's attention, we have 0 technical problems right now. It's snowing in Austria. Everyone knows that when it snows here, my internet dies. Yep. We're good. Oh, by the way, Dan, did you send Yvette the new link? Because we have a new link for the chat tonight. Okay.
I did.
I just wanted to ask you.
Yeah, I did.
Cool. Well, I bet you're thinking, everybody, that don't you wish you could smell like Tony Iommi? Don't you wish that, everybody? Well, now, thanks to his new release, you can. Tony Iommi has a new single and an accompanying fragrance, which is called The Scent of Dark. And I watched and listened to the music, and I want to be as respectful as I can right now, because Tony is I can't even call him Tony. Tony Iommi is the godfather of metal. And I think his new single just kind of sounds like someone trying out some software emulation software.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it sounds any good, but the fact that it is to accompany and support a perfume / fragrance / aftershave or whatever, I think that's amazing.
Yeah, I
You
mean
can
the big
buy
question.
Tony Iommi stuff.
Yeah, the
Sorry,
big
Dan,
question to me is it like Tony Iommi smell before he goes on stage or afterwards?
I don't know. Oh God, I just had a horrible thought. I can't even say. I've got to say it now. But I was going. This is where my brain goes. I was going to say maybe it's the smell of the inside of his fake finger. Uh, That's a disgusting kind of smell.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So
I don't even have a price on it.
did they describe how it's supposed to smell? Like any kind of smell directions or where it takes inspiration from?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have it here somewhere. 1 second. There we go. Tony Iommi, compact and versatile. Nope, that's something else. The song is a doom-infused new single entitled "Scent of Dark." We've covered that. Fitting for such a title. Blah blah blah. He's done it with some guy called Sergio, who is big in perfume but also plays guitar, and it is. The smell is described as paying homage to Iommi's Italian roots with tantalizing top notes of bergamot with rum, Bulgarian geranium, and passion fruit, opening to cinnamon, Bulgarian rose, and patchouli at the heart.
I have no clue what that means, but it sounds good.
As a guitar reviewer, I obviously have to somehow review that fragrance. I wonder how much it is.
Yeah.
Anybody in the chat know how much that is? Michael McFall says it smells of cigarettes and bad decisions.
Someone wrote it smells like tube amps. The smell of tube amps.
The smell of tube amps. I'm down for
Yeah.
that. Okay, well, Tony Iommi has a fragrance and a new single, and who am I to judge the single? I don't really review music, but for me, I don't know. It needed Aussie.
Yeah, agreed.
But it's good to see him doing stuff. Great to see he's still knocking out the old fragrances.
And to be honest, I prefer him like throwing out new guitars or old guitars on the market instead of getting out fragrances. The
Agreed,
smell of
agreed.
doom. Yeah.
Smell of yeah.
But we had Petrucci with the oil, the beard oil, and
Oh,
so
yeah.
many weird things. Yeah. So different folks, different strokes. So obviously, Iommi likes his fragrance in the morning.
Why not? I mean, what do we know, Dan? We know nothing about
No.
nothing.
No.
All right. The last bit of news is this, and there's the front. The Guitar Geek limited edition Phronements, which is a tree ornament. It doesn't have to go on the tree. It can go anywhere. You can hang it on your guitar if you want. But what it is, and I've got it with me right now, is made by SJ, and she's done this amazing job of making these life-size podcast. Hang on, can I make it life-size? That's about life-size there. Henning bought one. I can see that Henning's in the chat right now. He bought one for €100 because we're raising money for charity. The charity is SANS, which is supporting the parents and families of stillborn children and neonatal death. It is very dear to me, and I would like you to spend all your money that you can, not on a fragrance or even, on a Patreon, maybe on SANS. And if you want one, I'm about to put the auction live. And I'm on the page right now, Dan. I'm about to click list with displayed fees. I'm going to click it. This is guaranteed where eBay gives me some kind of error message. So if that does happen, I will continue to try this. Yeah, it's saving the draft and it's telling me there's an error, of course, because that's what happens on a live show.
It looks rather big, the ornament.
It is. I mean, it's a pick shape. That's not my real hair, but she's done an amazing job, including some of the grey hair, which I can only be impressed by. Okay, eBay's logged me out. That's what the problem is, because I spent so long messing around. Hang on. Submit the listing, please, eBay. Oh, the listing needs a minimum price of... Okay, I have to put a minimum price, of course. And it's deleted all the stuff that I had there earlier. Oh, wonderful. That's good to know, Dan.
Yeah, for next time. So are you listing one Phronement or two, or what's the deal?
One is there are four. I'm keeping
All
one
right.
because Henning has bought one. There are two
Okay.
up for
Two
auction.
left.
Two left. One is going up right now, and then the idea is I'm typing and talking at the same time. Phronement. There we go. The idea is that we do this live now so that the bidding and the auction ends next week during the show, so we can push more people to buy. Starting price. And then the second one, I'm not exactly sure when I'm going to put that live. I might put it live tomorrow, but the idea is to get it for Christmas, so as soon as possible. I'm attempting to list it. Submitting the listing. Okay, the item is for sale. So now I have the link, which I can now post in the chat, which I don't have loaded up. Wonderful. Hang on. YouTube. I've got to go to my own YouTube channel. How crazy is that? There we go. And then we get this echo. Right, everybody in the chat, that is the link for the item. Go and bid on it. I have not filled out the item description properly because it just deleted it all on me. I will do it properly later on. The shipping is set at a flat rate of £5. So if it's any more, I will pay the extra. If it's any less, tough cheese. Yeah, so go and bid. It's right here. And I'll also write a little letter. We're raising money for a very, very worthwhile charity. I'll put the link also in the video description of this video, and Dan will probably put it in the podcast description.
Absolutely.
Is that possible? Thank you, mate.
Yep, absolutely.
And we'll keep up to date with that because that's pretty awesome. And that's the eBay stuff done. I'm amazed it went that smoothly. It only failed once. It's not very Guitar Stories, is it?
No, but well, it's tech stories.
Tech Stories. Okay.
I really wonder when I look at the image. I really wonder if your hand is so big or if the Phronement is really large. But I think it's both.
I can recreate that for you. There you go.
All right. Yeah.
So it's both. I mean, if you were
It will
using
make
that on a pick.
Yeah. Can you play the guitar with that? Probably not, right?
Well, technically, it's felt. So don't people play jazz with felt?
Yeah, felt pick. Why not? But it will make an even better Phronement on your Christmas tree, and it will be amazing Christmas with that Phronement. So guys out there, bid for it.
Oh, that we have some bids already. Charlie Cooper says he's the highest bidder. That item is mine. Oh,
I don't think he really gets the idea of eBay, right?
we got two bids. We're currently on 99p. Excellent.
Come on, I need it. No.
Charlie Coop -171. I know who you are, Charlie Cooper. Right. So yeah, don't necessarily do it now, but don't wait till the last minute. Go and get some money somewhere. Right. I had trouble finding picks for this week, Dan. Gear picks. But then
All right.
But then you helped.
I did?
Yeah, you did, because
All right.
you were made remember that we took a few weeks off when either you, I, or both of us were ill or whatever, and I realized there were some gear picks that I missed during the year recently that I wanted to talk about. So that's my gear picks this week. I've gone slightly back in time. I hope that's okay for everybody.
Of course.
But I'd like to talk about your picks first. After I say thank you to Michiel for the super chat witty remark. So that's where he's left his witty remark. He's just written witty remark. Thanks, Michiel. Okay. Just a quick update. We're up to £16 on the eBay auction. That's phenomenal. That's great.
They are
right.
bidding me already.
Oh, you're bidding as well, are you, Dan? Oh.
Yeah, I did, but I'm outbid all the time. I'm like the highest bidder, and then just
£22.
Just seconds after that, I'm outbid. That's just ridiculous.
Also, it says £5 express delivery. It might not be that express. Just so you know. Henning, you don't need to bid again. You've already bought one, but thank you. Buy one for Leslie. Buy one for the dogs. Buy two. The limited edition. It's never going to happen again. Maybe.
We're at £42 already, by the way.
I wonder who bid that.
I don't know. But
Okay, well that's great.
maybe
£42. That's phenomenal.
maybe Henning made a good cut last week with 100 euros. You never know. You
You
never
never know. Maybe he's gonna whatever. Yeah, £100 could be the bargain of the week. Okie dokie. I'm very proud. I will put the other one live soon, and you'll find out on my social media where and when that is. Let's go for Dr. Dan's pick of the week.
Dan's pick of the week. Dan's pick of the week.
Yes. These are actually 3 guitars.
It's your turn to say something.
I know. So actually, ESP Ltd released a couple of guitars. They have I think 3 new signature models, and one of the most interesting ones is the one that I picked as my pick of the week. It's the Alan Ashby signature guitar, the AA1. And what I found interesting is that it's a really reduced T-shaped guitar with only 1 pickup in the bridge. And
Wow.
if you show the previous picture, it's got a neck-through construction, and this is kind of rare, or a set neck construction. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, and it's got a lot of features that we already know from the Ibanez lineup too. Ting,
Whoops.
like just
Hey, you sneaky.
that
wrong
was the wrong one. There you go. Yeah, like Jesco Evo gold frets and something like that, or it's got brushed gold EMG 81 pickups. And I really like just the look of it. It's a very reduced guitar. It's a very, traditionally oriented guitar, but with all the, modern bells and whistles, like only 1 pickup, 1 knob, neck through construction. And it just looks like a very sleek axe. And I liked it. So of Mice and Min, definitely a band to check out, but also the guitarist signature guitar is a very interesting model. And that was my first pick of the week. Since you are into tellies a lot, and I watched your documentary or your vlog about the rehearsal where you considered playing a telly, would that be a guitar for you to bring to the rehearsal?
No, because it's more a blues band thing. More, almost. I hate to say it. It's almost as much about the look as it is about the sound. In the sense that we want to look like a blues band, and I think that is too modern looking.
Okay.
Not that hang on, let me just explain. I love it. I absolutely love that. But for that band, for that blues rock band, that ain't the right guitar. It's a little bit too metal, a little bit too modern for that.
All right. Okay. But
Plus,
in general,
I need a neck pickup. I'm afraid I need to go super chocolatey.
Ooh, okay. But basically, we agree that the looks are pretty insane on that one. The black,
Classy.
the black flat gold combination is pretty rad. The ebony fretboard with no inlays. That's just how it's supposed to be.
But
Very nice.
I'm getting Harley Benton vibes. There's a Harley
Oh, you
Benton
do?
that looks like that, and yeah, there's a super cheap Harley Benton that looks better, as in it looks more expensive, but I'm getting vibes of that.
Okay. So what would
I
you
like
be like? What would be missing when you say it doesn't look expensive enough? Is it the headstock? Is it like? By the way, it's a
I'm
reverse
not saying it
headstock.
doesn't look expensive enough. I'm just saying it's very
Mhm.
reminiscent of the Harley
Okay.
Benton model that I can't remember what it is right now. But it's basically, if someone said to you, black telly gold hardware, they could be describing either one of those guitars. But the
Mhm.
Harley Benton is bolt on. If you look on the back, then that is super sleek, and attention to detail and price will be higher, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's like $1,300-1,400 US dollars.
Okay.
So
So let's call it
substantially more. So
six Harley Bentons then.
is that the new currency? I thought we were like what
Oh
was
no,
the
we're on
last
Jeffs,
currency?
aren't we? 1.5 Jeffs.
Yeah, correct. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, just as an aside, with the Harley Benton, the way, and the same as this, the way it's a neck, the string through, the way the strings come over the Tune-o-matic bridge on the Harley Benton, they touch the bridge rather than the saddles on several of those models. So
Mhm.
I'm not a big fan of that model. I think it's too cheap. And yes, Michael Bolton.
no,
Sorry.
it's neck through. It's not bolt on.
No, but the Harley Benton is. That was an inside
Yeah,
joke for
of course.
Henning and I.
I know.
I'm interested in the placement of the volume knob. It just seems like I think from a practical point of view, brilliant, but it seems like it's out there on its own. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't know if you like plays a lot with the volume to achieve certain tones, because he obviously only sticking to the bridge pickup, so maybe he needs to tone it down occasionally. But it's a very unconventional position for metal guitar, because usually you want to have the volume part a little bit further away so you can go all downstrokes.
Great. Or just hire Dan and a microphone for your metal guitar pieces. Sarang says that's a Strat player's volume knob. I agree. I'm not knocking it. I'd love to play it to have a look. I think it's a great pick of the week. But may we move on to your next pick, Dan?
Absolutely.
Your next pick is something that is an exclusive, I believe.
Mm-hmm. And these are two guitars that are part of the Ibanez. Thank you. Genesis collection. And apparently they've popped up in the forums on Facebook and Instagram, and I received a lot of messages. So I think it would be a good pick. Okay, because Andy was already nitpicking, and he said,
"Whoa!
I'm sorry. You said you are. Well, am I supposed to say that? No, you say I'm acting like Henning, because he was nitpicking that it's technically not a new guitar, it's just a new finish. And I fully agree, but it's still my pick of the week, or my second pick of the week, because I think there was a lot of buzz going on for these models. And I also like that a couple, legacy colors are coming back, like Vampire Kiss.
So much buzz that I had no idea it existed, and I searched really far this week for gear that I couldn't find. So much buzz, Dan.
See?
One question from Henning. Locking tuners?
You're looking in the wrong places.
Locking tuners?
I'm not sure. I don't think so, because it's got a tremolo. So, I'm sorry.
But then it doesn't need locking tuners if it's got what's it called, that knockoff Floyd Rose stuff that you do.
Yeah, the knockoffs. Yeah, it's a double locking. It's the original Edge tremolo and double locking, so it doesn't necessarily technically need locking tuners. But I understand that for ease of changing strings, etc., these are preferred for some players. Henning, and but actually I really like that we see those colors coming back, and also the Genesis line, the RG565 has been such a success for Ibanez throughout 2021. Actually in late 2020 those got released, and I find it pretty cool to see that these are back, and these are two colors that are Sweetwater exclusive so far. So yeah, we'll see. Maybe we see them. We see other colors, or see the same colors.
I saw Tyler from Sweetwater pop up in the chat just a moment ago, so he's probably thanking you dearly. So I think we're actually being watched by Sweetwater. So Sweetwater, there's your plug.
Yeah.
I like it, Dan. It's just new colors. Really?
Yeah, I know, but I got a soft spot for those kind of old models, because that RG565 line is a reissue of the original models that came out in 91, 92, and even with the square heel, when you look at the close up of the Vampire Kiss one with the square heel, that's just something that is the blue one. That's something that is so unique, and I mean it's old school, but it's also pretty cool that it's still part of the lineup, because it oozes so much Ibanez history, And yeah, I've just got a soft spot for these. They come with Ibanez own.
So I missed a couple there. Imagine that I pressed that 10 times.
No worries. Infinity R and V8 pickups. And also what I find very interesting is you've got a humbucker in single coil format on the neck position that is a ceramic, so very hot and very shrill, harsh kind of pickup, what people call harsh. And you have a V8 Alnico in the bridge. So it's kind of, usually people tend to do the other way around. So they put the ceramic in the bridge position and the Alnico in the neck position. But here it's the other way around, and I think it works amazingly well. It's a really cool tone. And
I think you said exactly the same thing when we did the original colors.
Is that
about?
no,
I
really?
think,
Yeah.
I think because I remember you saying it, and unless I am inside your brain or we spend so much time together virtually that I can predict what you've said,
Yeah.
then that was your selling point, and it is still
Oh.
correct. It's just I'd like to move on, please.
How do
And
you
if
like the
any-
colors?
Oh, wonderful, brilliant, love it. I can't see how the world existed without these colours before.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
No, with respect, I think the blue is killer. I like it very much.
Yeah. So lucky Sweetwater to have those exclusives. Hope they
I
sell
don't
well.
like I don't like the red one. Is that Vampire's Kiss? Is that the one you said?
Yep. Vampire.
I don't like that. I think that looks cheap. I think the blue one looks cool.
You're so rude. So
Sorry, Dan.
mean.
Andy's pick of the week.
Andy's pick of the week is Dan's off talking to somebody. I wonder who he's talking to. It's the EHX Intelligent
to you.
Harmony Machine. He's not talking to me. He's doing it. Hello, Dan. Hello. You're facing the wrong way. You need to face the other way because we're mirror imaged on screen. There we go. My pick of the week, first one, is Intelligent Harmony Machine from Electro Harmonics. It's kind of like a pitchforky kind of thing, but more so. It is basically the most I can liken it to is if you want to play stuff like Iron Maiden and Brian May, but you're on your own and you don't have a guitar friend, then you could do it on your own by using this pedal. And judging by the video that EHX released themselves, sounds pretty good. So loads of buttons. Look at those knobs, Dan.
A lot of knobs.
Are you talking to me again?
So what's the exact purpose for that? How would you use the Intelligent Harmony Machine? Let's say in a band context or at home.
Well, pretty much as I said when you weren't talking to me, if you wanted to play Iron Maiden and you didn't have a second guitar in the band, then you could do by doing that, and it knows the key, it's intelligent, it does chords as well as just single notes, so it's got a poly mode. If you were a single guitar player doing looping and stuff, that would sound amazing. I really do recommend that you watch the Electro Harmonics video on it, and I'm talking to you, Dan, and everybody in the world, because they do some kind of country thing which mixes like a lap steel with a telly, and it sounds phenomenal. So it's this really clean kind of old twangy sound, and I love what the demo guy's done with it. It's beautiful. It sounds good. Also, it's made in the USA, so it's designed and made in the USA.
All right. I mean, it sounds pretty interesting.
It's quite expensive. It's about $200, so just over $200. It's not cheap, but I think it could unlock a lot of different sounds for a lot of fun-loving people.
Mm-hmm. Also, I can see
think,
it in a band situation. If you're like the sole guitar player, but you want to have a little bit of a tonal variance, a little bit of more like fat to your overall tone, I think for some instances that could be pretty interesting. But it's got to be good. If it sounds like a synthesizer or just like artificially, I don't see it. So it will be interesting to try that out and also see how easy it can be used. Is it really stage ready, or is it just for the home engineer that's kind of dialing in tones in their bedroom and trying to figure out the next cool patch? Yeah.
Well, I reached out to EHX to ask about doing a review for one, and they are the parts inside are very hard to find due to the shortage. So either that or they're just BSing me. But I just realized that as I was saying it. Very sorry, Andy, but the parts are very hard to find. I want to try one because the tracking in the video is phenomenal. It sounds good. It doesn't sound synthesized, to answer your question, Dan. And as I said, with that sort of clean Telecaster-y, twangy style, it still sounds like the second guitar, the harmonized part, still sounds like a guitar. People in the chat are saying that it looks like an old computer, or Amanda says it looks like a medical device from 1967. It's great.
Yeah.
It looks.
Sorry,
what I will say is
it's
I've got some of those nano
boring.
things. The knobs on the nano pedals are a nightmare because they're smooth and they're small. and I can't grab them with my big sausagey fingers.
Hmm.
Let's go to my next pick, because I can see we've just been joined by our guest for the evening, so I'm excited to talk to Yvette. But we're doing our next picks. Yvette is just warming up with a rather nice-looking guitar around her neck. Another pick from old is the new band amps from Joyo, because they're very well priced, and I once sold one to Billy Gibbons, and I wanted to be able to say that on the podcast as a bit of a flex. The new ones are the Meteor 2, which is the orange one, so I'd love to see what Charlie Cooper has to say about that, and the Tweedy, which is the one that I'm going to focus on in this little section. The Tweedy is a Fender Tweed style amp, 20 watts, so the Bantamp stuff is preamp valve solid state power amp, and this one is basically that pedal, the Joyo American Sound pedal with an amp. So I love that pedal. It's very cheap. It's got a great sound. The bang for buck on that pedal is huge, and they've now turned it into an amp. Dan, thoughts?
I love the name. If it sounds any good, I'm all game for that one. I mean, Tweedy, come on, that's super cute. And I know you love the pedal. So did you try the amp already?
No, they just
No.
they announced it. And then put it on, as Joyo often do, as I've learned. They announced it secretly and then just put it on Instagram as well. Screw it. Yeah, let's just put it out when it's not quite ready.
Okay.
Henning is asking if there's a tube inside. If it follows everything like the other Bantamps, which Henning would know, then this must have a tube inside, I would say.
All right. Does it
it's-
have an
it's a-
effects channel too?
A what?
Effects channel, so you can put in effects in and out. Effects
loop.
effect out.
Sorry.
Effects loop, yeah.
I don't know. If the other Bantamps
No.
do, then this one does as well. I didn't do much research. It was a long time ago.
All right.
I just know that for the price that's going to be, it's interesting. It's just kind of missing the Tweed look of an amp. So it doesn't look.
It should be a little bit. It should be a little bit more yellowish to really fit the name Tweedy.
Exactly. Michiel said in the chat that it should be more tweety yellow, which is very clever, Michiel. And Charlie says that the orange one looks cool. Great. Thanks, Charlie.
Yeah.
But they already released the Meteor. This is a Meteor XL, so it's got more stuff in it.
All right.
And that is that everything for my picks of the week? Yeah, I only had 2 this week. So it is time to buy, borrow, or burn. And then when we decided what we're buying, borrow, or burning, we're going to bring in our guest.
Buy or burn.
That was it. Better the second time. Okay, everybody, you've got to buy something, you've got to borrow something, you've got to burn something. We have 5 picks? Four. Okay, Dan, what were your picks this week? Remind us, please, sir.
Of course, we had the AA1, the the LTD Tele style guitar for the of Meiserman guitar player. We had the Sweetwater exclusive RG565. Then your picks were the Electro Harmonics. Fill me in, what was the name? Intelligent Harmonizer?
Intelligent Harmonizer.
Okay.
Let's call it that. Yeah, that's probably not the. There was a 3-word name. Intelligent Harmony Machine. I beg your pardon.
Harmony Machine. All right, there you go. And we had the Joyo mini amps, the Tweedy.
Yeah. Let's look in the chat. We've got Studio Humil. Buy the LTD, borrow the pedal, burn the Ibanez. Sorry, Dan. It's a bad start, Daniel. It's a bad start.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
Poo Ninja, buy the EHX, borrow the 3D, and burn the fibers to get Andy on real internet. Okay, I was talking to Poo Ninja earlier. I have fiber optic internet literally meters from my house, and they won't complete the next section. So, yeah, it's right there, right in front of me. Carrot on a stick. Fergie in France, buy the Ibanez in blue, very predictable. Borrow the Harmony pedal and burn the Joyo because I don't need one, but all good picks. Nice.
All right.
Let's do 2 more from the chat. Big Al's Music, Muscles, and Magic. What a combination. Buy the pedal, borrow the Ibanez, burn the LTD. Sounds good.
All right.
Valeria, burn the Phronomant, borrow the Joyo out of curiosity, and burn that Frankenstein of a pedal. Valeria. Valeria. Dear, I thought we were friends. Let's see. See, Henning is still in the chat and doesn't understand the concept of the game, Henning.
Nope.
Got to say that the Ibby is rather nice, so buy that. You've got to tell us the other two things as well.
Yeah. But here's
hang
a good
on.
point.
And it's still Lucky Tuners.
Yeah.
Okay,
but here's
fair.
a good thing. He's
Ignore
got
me.
55 more episodes to learn how the game goes until he's re-invited to the podcast, right?
Oh, you floored me there, mate. Thank you, Henning. Right, I'm going to guess for Dan. Here we go.
All right.
Dan is going to buy the LTD. He's going to borrow the Ibanez from Sweetwater, and he's going to burn the pedal. Dang.
Nope. I think I would burn the amp because I've got no use for the amp, but I like it. So, it really it's tough, but I'd probably burn the amp. When it comes to the harmonizer, I really would like to try that, so I'd probably borrow that from you and just give it a shot. And maybe if I like it, then I could still buy it. And of course, there's no alternative. I'm just a sucker for the old RG, so I would buy the RG 565 in blue, of course, in laser blue.
Technically, you didn't say Ibanez, but I just did, so that's fine.
All right.
Charlie Cooper is going to borrow the Ibanez Blue. He's going to buy the pedal and burn the Joyo. Nothing wrong with the Joyo. It's me. That's fine.
It sounds like a
take that
breakup.
Joyo.
There's nothing wrong with you. It's just me. It's just me.
I'd taken like an OR50 and smashed the Joyo with a real big, I don't know, PPC cab or something. Dan, what do you think I would go for, my friend? Because I got yours wrong, and I'm disappointed in myself.
Yeah, I hear you would. That's a tough one. That's a really tough one. I think you would burn the LTD because you've got no use for such modern guitars. You would borrow the harmonizer to fiddle around with it, and you would buy the Joyo because there's always need for another amp, and you could use it maybe at a rehearsal. No? Yes? Maybe?
I actually can't decide. So I'll say you're kind of right. But
Okay.
I
take that.
Out of the guitars, moving on. Next segment. Out of the guitars, I actually quite like the LTD, but it was giving me those nightmares from the Harley Benton, which was a nightmare to set up. So I would always feel like I'm playing that. I think I would, but I really want to try the pedal. The pedal has to be there somewhere.
Okay.
Because then it makes me feel like I've got a friend when I play guitar.
You've got a second guitar player in your band, don't you?
Yeah, and no bass. So we need a third guitar player before we have a bass player. Incidentally, if anyone's in Austria and wants to play bass in my band, feel free.
But here's the thing: with the harmonizer, if it really works, you can just get rid of the second guitar player and have all the food and the beer at gigs for yourself.
I'm hoping he
that?
might drive the bus. I'm hoping he's going to drive. So,
right.
Or I could
maybe
just take a day off.
Yeah. Or he needs to learn how to play the bass.
We are discussing whether one of us should do the old Paul McCartney thing, but I love playing bass. But I'm not a bass player, so yeah. Michiel is asking, does the bass player have to be in Austria? No, but we rehearse on Fridays. This Friday, in fact. You're welcome. Bring biscuits. I'm going to say you're right, Dan, just because I can't remember what we said and I started talking about playing bass. But you weren't that wrong. You weren't that wrong. But I do want to try the Joyo. I do want to try the pedal. I guess the two guitars were the least exciting for me this week. And also Sweetwater don't deliver to Austria, so not much chance of that happening.
All right, I hear.
But before we move on, Dan, there was one pick that was very clearly obvious for this week that we didn't pick because I can see one right now and she's playing it. So there was a very clear gear choice for this week. in the green room, and Dan's got one as, oh my goodness, there it is. It's orange, it's sparkly, it's gorgeous. Look at that. It's Yvette Young's new signature guitar. And Dan, if I may, I would like to guest pre-roll and then bring in Yvette, who may or may not be dressed as Spider-Man. Hello, Yvette.
Hi. Oh, am I like super laggy?
Yeah, you are super laggy. It's awesome.
That's
But
so
don't worry
strange.
about it too much.
I'm like, I wonder if it's my internet.
Oh, we were doing so well, but never mind. Don't worry about it. If you need to go away and come back, that's absolutely fine. Because we
Okay,
could...
I will hang up and try this again. I have a feeling it might be better on my phone. But there's no way to do this on my phone, right?
Yeah.
If you
just
got
click
if you got
that link on your
AirPods,
phone.
yeah,
Okay,
headphones.
let me try to
But-
figure that out. I'm so
Put ears in.
okay.
And we'll talk
I'm
about
gonna
your
do
guitar whilst you're gone. And then as soon as
Okay.
I see you appear, we'll bring you back in. See you in a moment.
See you in a bit.
So, Dan,
Oh, lovely.
Yvette's
Yes.
new guitar. I mean, that's not the main reason we have Yvette back is because she's awesome, and it's an honor to have her back on the show. And I can't wait for the next hour of our lives to unveil itself. But
Mhm.
what's the model number of this guitar? It's the YY10.
20, and it's
20.
quite a complete coincidence that this got released today, because we kind of decided that we want to have Yvette back on the show because it was one of the most intense episodes and also one of the most fun episodes. So we asked her when she would be available, and then all of a sudden that kind of appeared on the horizon, and so yeah, it was like all the planets aligning super well, and now it's release day. We got her on the show. There's a cool new video, and yeah, this is the new YY20 AT inspired signature guitar. But I don't want to go too much into details because Yvette can tell us much more about the process of finding her guitar. I can just tell I had way too much fun with it. I had the rectifier in the showroom cranked up, third channel, and it was so much fun. Oh boy. Actually,
Well,
I was using a wireless system and it ran out of battery, so that's how much fun I had with it.
And those things hold 4 hours of charge, if I remember correctly.
That's right.
Okay, that's a good enough endorsement. I like it. We also have the video that Ibanez and Yvette released today, and we're going to play a little bit of that because it's phenomenal and a lot of fun, and silly and quirky and wonderfully shot and with some great music in it. All those things all rolled into one. Yvette has just joined us back in the green room. Let's go to the chat and see if she's going to be there. Almost. Hang on. I have to assign you to a guest. There we go. Hello.
Hello.
I think this is much better, right?
That's
Is it
beautiful.
much better?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Amazing. Sorry about
Hey.
that.
No worries.
AT&T can suck my ass.
So Dan's the only one with a decent connection at the moment, and that's because Ibanez is paying for it.
Usually I'm 6 megapixel, Dan, you know?
Dan's normally potato
Right,
Dan, but this week he's also looking beautiful. Have you got a new skin regime, by the way, Dan?
No.
It's lovely.
Thank you very much.
You know what's funny is when I was on the cyber green room, I was actually noticing how immaculate both of you look and like just glowing. So
It's the Austrian air that I walked my son to kindergarten this morning, and I nearly got my afro blown off my head. It was so windy,
Oh yeah. Yeah, same here.
but it was
Wind,
full of health.
cold, and snow.
So,
So
Yvette, welcome back to the show. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for bringing back what you brought back on the Instagram post as well about Spider-Man.
All
I
right.
totally forgot about that.
yeah, this is I know like this is the it's not as recognizable, but this is what Tobey Maguire wore in the fifth Spider-Man movie. Just a sweater and jeans. you know, kind of
Yeah.
what. Do you remember that?
Yeah, now you bring it up, I do. It's not very clear, but yes.
Yeah, it was when Spider-Man became a regular citizen again.
Yvette, you are far from being a regular citizen. Come on. Look at you. Look at that video you released today. Look at that guitar. We have the video. So would you mind if we just play a little bit?
Yeah, you can watch me react in real time.
Okay. Yvette Young reacts to Yvette Young's video. Here we go.
Things are heating up. Ice cream! Come and get your ice cream!
Ice cream? I'm pretty sure I heard ice cream. What flavors you got?
Whatever flavor you could dream up. You don't strike me as a vanilla kind of guy.
Me? Vanilla? No way.
You seem like you could get down with your fruitier side.
Hey, we still talking ice cream here?
I got just the flavor for you.
Yowza! Now that's a popsicle.
I've got to stop it there because that's my favorite part. Yowza, no, that's a popsicle. Did you also write the script, or were you just co-writing it?
Unfortunately, I did the whole treatment and script. Ibanez made a mistake of trusting me to do something serious. No, actually, they all know. It's funny because I was talking to Mike, and I did a clinic for them once, and then he gave me feedback. He was like, they were expecting you to like be more funny, but like this is just a normal clinic. And I'm just like, oh, my bad. Like I didn't realize I had this reputation. But yeah, this is my terrible script, and I'm sorry.
I think it's perfect. I think had it been it's not too sensible, which is wonderful. I think it does. I mean, we don't know each other very well, but what I do know of you, I see embodied in this epic masterpiece. I'm going to skip it towards. Yeah, I'm going to skip it to this part just because I want other people to go and see your video. But we're just going to show you playing some amazing music.
I'll take it.
Hey, you! That's my cart and that's my uniform. What did I tell you about selling guitars to my ice cream customers? I'm gonna call the cops on you. Jeepers, gotta go.
Now, again, I'm going to stop it so people go and watch for real. But do you do your own stunts, or was that a stunt double?
So you know what's really funny is so we were the same size. So I actually took off my clothes and I wore his clothes, and he did the jump for me because there's no way I could have landed that with the guitar. Like I can move and play, that's fine, but just doing that jump with the instrument is like just asking for a concussion for me, and I'm trying to not have a concussion. That's one of my goals for this year, actually.
It's a good hobby, great hobby.
So, yeah. Oh, yeah, having a concussion.
No, not having a concussion is a great hobby.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm pretty good at it so far, and I'm trying to keep that track record up. So yeah, we just traded clothes. It was really funny.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations. I think it's wonderful. Also, congratulations to Ibanez for allowing you to do that. I think that anything else would have been a mistake.
You know, I feel like I always want to do things a little differently, and I feel like ads can be kind of boring and sterile. So I'm like, how can I make people laugh and then also just inform them about the thing I'm releasing? And I don't know. I just feel like stuff sticks more when it makes me laugh. I remember it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can tell that there's that moment when you're like telling the specs that's like the serious part. It's a very subtle, like a very short period and a very subtle element. But like, all right, I've got my numbers and I've got my specs correct. But then the rest is all just so much fun, and you know, it's jeepers. It's just hilarious. It was really tough to kind of up the ante after the original video for the YY10, where you were the mad scientist, coming up
Yeah.
with the slimy green colors, and that was already a
Yeah.
great video. But the new one, it's just insane, and I really like that it's polarizing. There are quite a few people, that were commenting, "Oh, that's creepy," or that's cringe, or whatever. But there are also
Yeah.
like 90% of people that say, "Oh my gosh, I had so much fun with that video," and that's just what it's all about, right?
Yeah. Humor is not for everybody. Some people just don't want to have fun, and that's okay. That's like, I like honestly, I feel like nothing. I was just talking to Mike this morning about everything, and I was just like, I don't know, like I want people to know that you can have fun and make music, and like it doesn't have to be this serious thing where you're like taking serious pictures all the time and like inaccessible and like too cool for school. Like I think that's a great way to kind of put people off to playing guitar, because for a lot of people, I've talked to people trying to pick it up, it seems like this daunting, like really scary thing. They're like, I don't even know where to start, like I suck, I can't shred, I think it's the focus is on the wrong place. I think to get more people to want to play guitar and to like kind of build this community, you have to be welcoming and friendly. And like, what better way to do it than just have a goofy ass time, make fun of yourself, not take everything too seriously, but like still get the job done,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I couldn't agree more.
Actually, if you compare like learning the guitar, I still don't get why the rate of people that quit playing the guitar is so high. What you can read obviously from statistics like Fender Play and those kind of apps and systems. Because if you compare that with learning how to ride a bike, you don't quit that process. You just learn how to ride a bike, and at a certain point, you can ride a bike. You probably don't ride a bike like a BMX champion, but you can ride a bike in a proper way, like everyday use. So why do people quit playing guitar before they reach a level that is like satisfactory for the everyday demands, like playing chords and comping and stuff like that? So I think sometimes that community that can be a little bit too toxic, or to make it to make it too competitive, that is a little bit of a hindrance. And if you take it more in a comedic way and have fun with what you do, I think that's the perfect starting point for not quitting anything and just moving on and reaching level after level after level.
Yeah, I genuinely have so much fun. Like every time I pick up my guitar and play, I can't help but to smile. Like it's not even like I have to force myself. Like I legitimately have a shit-eating grin like every single time I'm playing. And like I don't know, it's just I think it's such a magical, transformative thing. Going back to your point about why people are quitting so quickly, I I I gotta say I think it's partially due to like the whole culture of like you have to like shred and be impressive on the instrument. I think there needs to be more of a focus on good songwriting. I think technique is very important and really useful, but like I don't know, I have more fun trying to write like a cool song or even covering a song that I love that makes me feel a certain way rather than just sitting there trying to be really fast and like impressive. So I think it's partially due to culture, and I'm not going to get too heady with this, but I also think it's partially due to people's shortened attention spans because of like, I don't know, social media and everything. Like it's like such a difficult place to exist because you're constantly having other people's work being pushed in your face, so you can't help but to like compare yourself. And then also just attention spans have been on the decline. So it's just people want like instant gratification. But the thing I've loved most about guitar is like it's been a constant journey for me where I feel like every year I improve. Like I don't think I'm like I've been playing particularly long compared to a lot of my peers, and I do definitely have like imposter syndrome sometimes, but like every year I'm like, dang, I like got better at that one thing, and like I learned how to do this other thing, and like I feel like constantly the world is being opened up. I don't think I've hit a limit yet. So
Yeah.
I think that's especially with the style of music that you play, or it's not the style of music, the style that you tend to play a lot or you're famous for. I don't think you have that many peers, if that makes sense, in the sense that many guitar players start playing rock and power chords and more rock and blues, pentatonic. That's a very wide pool of people playing that, and this competitive and also sometimes negative reinforcement. But with you, the way you play it and your style, which I'm sure some of the people would love to hear about, and I know we covered it in the last podcast, but I'd love to talk about it, and maybe you can play for us a little bit as well. That would be cool. But I think the way that you play makes people stop, look, and listen, and question their playing as well, and not in a competitive way. The way that you play, I love watching you play, and I try and catch as much of it as I can, because it makes me realize that what I'm doing, there's what I'm trying to say, there's many ways to approach the same goal, which is to have fun or make some sound. And when you play, it puts you on a different playing field to people that are playing blues, for example. Does any of that make any sense? Am I just walked off on a tangent? Weird. I feel like I haven't got my point across, but this competitiveness that we talk about with music is often stuck with people that are not doing what you do. That's what I'm trying to say.
I totally understand what you're saying. It's funny because I grew up playing competitively, quite literally. Like, I was a classical pianist and I did competitions, and I had to like basically, outplay everyone else, and that was just so unfulfilling to me, just because I think also to some extent, like, yes, you can create like parameters to judge art, but it is subjective at the end of the day. Like, it's hard to put objectivity on art, without limiting it, without putting it in a box. So I think for me, the whole reason why I started like teaching myself guitar and like playing this way is because I was like, oh, I just want to like write music that I'm excited by, and I don't want to like compare myself to other people, because I did plenty of that in my childhood. Just like this commercial, just kind of do my own thing and like enjoy it. So I completely understand what you're saying. I do feel it's funny when you're like, you don't have many peers. I'm like, yeah, forever alone. But I think it's exciting, because I think a lot of people are starting to explore the the possibilities of guitar more. A lot of people are opening up their tastes, and I think thanks to the internet, actually, information just spreads so much quicker, and people can learn about different genres and educate themselves about music so easily. So I think it's a good time. It's like a renaissance for guitar. And I don't know. I love everything, by the way. Like, I love metal. I love blues. I love shoegaze, like sludgy post-metal kind of stuff. Like, all of that. I feel like I take inspiration from all of my peers, actually.
Absolutely. I'm not saying you're out there on your own, and I'm not saying you're the only one that does that style. It just, for me, in my little world, you're the one that's one of the people at the forefront of that, and the most visible to me, which I really
She's the one
enjoy.
with the smile. She's the one with the big smile.
That's why I catch you, man. It's absolutely why I catch you. I can't imagine you being anything else than happy doing what you do, and that really makes me happy. So know that when you post something, you're at least making one person happy, and I'm sure it's a much higher number than that. But there's at least, and it's me. Hello.
That's been the most rewarding part of it. Like, I don't know. At the end of the day, I don't think I'm any more special than anyone else. Like, I don't even feel like I deserve this half the time. But like, I don't know. One of the things that keeps me going is seeing how many people it actually makes, like, I guess, happy, and how many people want to pick up the guitar after like years of not playing it, just because they found a new type of music, or they saw a video or something like that. So it's rewarding in its own way.
Yeah.
So I'd like to know what, when we spoke to you the first time, and now we're speaking to you again, thank you again, what's changed the most since we last spoke to you? What's happened in your life? What you've been doing?
COVID. Just kidding.
I think we've all been doing that, but last time we spoke, we talked about pedals, and you didn't have that many pedals, and that you were exploring them. You were excited about some pedals, and we talked about pedals that were out at the time. Has that changed, or what's changed?
Oh, it's just funny because you're like, you're saying you don't have many pedals, and I look at this just complete eyesore of a pedal mess around me. I literally have 2 pedal boards on the ground right now. I have like a shelf that needs to be organized. it's real bad. Like I'm glad that this is the angle that everyone's getting right now because it's a mess. Yeah, so I've become a hoarder since the last time we talked. COVID's been really, I'm just kidding. Um, yeah, I guess I've been writing a ton of music. Last time we spoke, I'm trying to remember the rollout of the YY10. I think I had just gone to the studio to record, but one thing I really appreciated about having all this time at home and not touring is I finally had a chance to take a break, and I feel like I was just a lot of stuff had happened. I was dealing with some like just trauma that I need to get over and go to therapy for. So I just stayed home and worked on myself, and I dived deep into the thing I love doing the most, which is writing. Uh, so I guess I'm sitting on two records right now.
Wow.
Wow.
And one is solo that I don't think I'll ever have time for. I have to like make time to record it. But the other one is the new Covet record, and I'm really, really excited about it because I feel like I'm doing something a lot different than the last two records. Might be polarizing too, who knows? One of the songs is 74 BPM. So that's going to be either
Wow.
really great or a huge bummer to some people. It's super slow. Two super slow, sludgy songs. So I'm stoked.
Oh,
All right.
how sludgy?
So
Like,
Super sludgy?
like like hella fuzz. Like just I don't know. I haven't
Yeah.
really. I know, right? I haven't used much fuzz in older recordings other than texturally, but like to have fuzz be the featured thing about the song, is really exciting. I actually think a lot of the songs were born out of me trying effects, and it's so crazy because every time I plug into like a new sound, it's like I have my default way of writing, which is like plugged into the amp. Like I tend to be kind of verbose. If I were to describe my own style, it's like very notey and like decorative. But I don't know, when I plug into something like a fuzz or like a super crazy washed out reverb or something, kind of makes me write differently, gives me a different voice, and all kinds of new ideas come out. So I think this record is about celebrating that, just like having different tones and of course storytelling. That's always going to be my number one focus.
Do you have a predicted release date or like a quarter or anything like that we can look forward to?
Not yet, but we are going into the studio in April. So the past couple weeks have been me juggling gear demos and trying to demo out a lot of the music because basically nothing gets written until I've like recorded the whole song and sent it to my bandmates. So I'm halfway done. It's so fun getting to, oh, I should mention that another thing that has changed is I totally learned how to like self-record, and it's changed my life because I feel like
Awesome.
I don't have I don't have to like use my phone and to record shitty ideas into my voice memo. Like I can create like full-fledged demos and get like the exact sounds I want. So that's been a game changer for me. So yeah, that's
cool.
just been what I've been working on.
Can you
How
fill us in
hard was
how
that?
you're recording? Yeah, sorry.
No, Dan, the same question.
How what?
I think we're having the same question. Like, can you fill us in a little bit how your recording setup looks like, or how that process went on to learn about home
Um,
recording? And
so I'll talk about like why I didn't do it before first, because I think maybe a lot of people can relate. I just didn't have time to learn a new skill. Like I was on the road constantly, and for me, like when you're so busy, time becomes a luxury, and messing up and experimentation become luxuries too, because quite simply, like I didn't have the time to like like just make something bad. You know, I had to just like use my time really efficiently when I was home. It sounds like a really sad life actually. So, but it's okay. I'm happy. Like, uh, yeah. Um, yeah, so I guess when my tours got canceled and everyone had to stay in, I was like all of a sudden I had a bunch of free time. So I was like, well, finally I can. I'm like always nervous about um using technology just because I'm not really a tech guru or anything. And I I'm kind of a perfectionist in an annoying way, where it's like, man, if I do something, I want to like do it like the best the first time. So I finally was like, you know what? I'm just gonna make a bunch of like garbage recordings and just watch YouTube videos and talk to my friends all over the world who might have advice on how to do things. And um, it started with my friend Lebo. I remember he was like teaching me really simple things in Ableton, like how to like parallel process and stuff like that. And it was a game changer because I was like, wait a minute, like this is making everything sound so much more clear, and I can like pan things differently and hear it the way like I would want in like a studio setting. So that kind of boosted my confidence. And we were working on a collaborative track together, sending it back and forth. And it was kind of like a very low stakes, doesn't matter sort of thing. And I think that was really important for me because it had been a while since I did anything that didn't matter, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was kind of like my whole process. And it's crazy because I feel like, I don't know if you guys experienced this, but through COVID, I feel like there's a huge shift to being technology centric. So if you weren't glued to your computer before, you kind of had to be by the nature of just having things keep on moving. So like you had to be like
Mm-hmm.
a Zoom expert. You had to know how to do like online streaming concerts. That was another crazy thing that was new for me. But you know, if I hadn't learned recording, if I hadn't learned how to do all that myself at that time, I don't think I would have been able to do a lot of the jobs that I got offered. So I feel very blessed and lucky that I learned it when I did, because now I'm just doing demos and like recording everything, and it's made my life like a lot more streamlined, I think. Um, and my whole setup is it's nothing fancy. Like I'm by no means like a professional or whatever, but I just have my AC10 here, and then I have a condenser mic, and I have a couple SM57s that I've used for like acoustic. Um, I got sent this cool Logitech has this Blue Yeti mic, and it's actually great for if you just want to like record a band practice really fast. Like the room setting has blown me away actually. I know it's like a really cheap mic, but it sounds great. Um, and yeah, I've been working in Ableton and Logic. Um, I know it's funny. I'm so impatient. I hate comping, so I just do a lot of punch-ins at the end of the day. I'm like, I just want to like know that I played the take that I wanted. I don't want to have to listen to like six different takes and choose the best parts. Like I just want to do it now. So a lot of people would probably disagree with that, but that's just what I find works the best for me.
Great.
Well, I don't think there is any incorrect way as long as something comes out at the end that's creative and makes you happy. But you're right. A lot of people will disagree with you, but they're wrong. They're the wrong ones. It's just, what are they doing with their lives? It really inspires me to hear that you've done this, because I remember last time we spoke that you really were entering this new level of new period of your life where you were kind of stuck at home, and it seemed as if you were coiled up, like a spring, but you had no way to release. And hearing that you're now doing recording, I mean, we can have more music from you, and that's a good thing. I want to know, like, some people watch this that are sorry to. I have a question about it. What is
It's okay.
like? Can you give any like tips for people that are starting into recording, as you've just done, as you're pretty fresh to it? Like,
I guess don't delete anything. That's a good tip, because I feel like sometimes, I don't know, I get like ear fatigue really easily. I feel like there's been days where I sit here and I listen. I'm like so annoying, I swear. I'll sit there and like do a bend, and I'll do like 100 versions of the bend I want, and then it's just I'm looking for that one little overtone or something that happens, and then I feel like discouraged, so I give up. But then I'll go back the next day and I'll like go through some takes, and I'm just like, wait a minute, like that was great. Why did I hate it? And it's just because I started to get cranky listening to everything. So and also like I had to learn the hard way that like you can't really move anything around or like delete stuff, because then it becomes a pain in the ass to try to like bring back it just in Ableton and stuff. Like luckily you can like run a search for files on your computer, but like there was one time where everything disappeared. I was like, no. And it was just because like I think I dragged it to somewhere else without thinking or whatever. But yeah, that's just a little tech tidbit tip. I will say it's good to read up about the best gear to use. I think this applies to everything. It's good to read up and be educated and be knowledgeable about what's used for what and what's out there, but don't be afraid to like experiment and get weird. Because some of my favorite results that I've achieved was doing something that is like a no-no, or doing something that's like kind of unconventional, and then realizing that that's just what works for me. Um,
Mhm.
and I think sometimes nothing new happens if you don't take risks or experiment like that. So don't be afraid to try things multiple ways. And if you like something, but then the internet tells you that that's not good, don't be afraid to be like, fuck the internet. I like it. So,
I'll be honest. I reacted that way when you said I had an SM57 for an acoustic guitar, and the snob in me said, "Huh, you should be using a condenser mic from that." And then I realized that I'd done it myself, and that's you should not absolutely be using a condenser mic. But I am also stuck in that
oh
train
no,
of thought of that's not
have,
right. But it must sound amazing. I know it sounds amazing, but I was listening from. I don't know, from an old, I don't know to explain it. I just gut reacted thinking, what's she doing? SM57 acoustic guitar. I bet it sounds awesome.
it's funny because I actually do have a condenser mic for the acoustic guitar, but I'm just saying like I have both. Like if I wanted to alternate for an SM57, like sometimes I want to capture like some like some of the noise and stuff like that. Like I just have multiple things rigged up. Sometimes I even use that Logitech, the room mic thing they sent me, the Blue Yeti. There's like 4 different settings. It's supposed to imitate different mics, but yeah, sometimes I feel like when I need like a really intimate sounding kind of like raw thing, I feel like that actually worked great. So it just depends on like the context. I think context is everything.
Absolutely. I know it's creative, and also if you're doing something that everybody else is doing, then you're not making anything new. So why not? I'm very jealous, very envious of you discovering all this stuff and learning, and also just diving into this new world. And I love these kinds of conversations because it reminds me that I just go through a process. And I noticed that we have a friend, Warren, from Produce Like a Pro in the chat right now, and he is one of the masters of recording. But I'm sure he'll tell you as well that just, if it sounds good, then it is good. And I forget that fire of being excited about sitting down and recording and just throwing anything down, just want to get a musical idea out, because I'm often too worried about, am I using the right gear? Am I using the right setting? And there's something to be said for just playing guitar and pressing record, or probably in the other way around.
Yeah, I think the key to me having my little creative renaissance during this time was just figuring out the thing that was the most convenient. Like, it's kind of why in visual, when I was doing painting and stuff, I always kind of gravitated away from oil painting because it was like a lot of setup time. And for me, that's like such a vibe kill, is when I have tech issues and have to set up this big thing. Because for me, when I'm like excited to write, I just want to get the idea out and see how it sounds. So I tend to go for the convenient thing that I know for a fact will sound at least like decent. And then the cool thing is you can always re-record it and recreate it, but with like a better tech setup if you do figure out that like it's not the way you wanted it. But for me, I need to like work in the moment right now, like instant gratification.
Yeah, I have my gear set up all the time. So when I make videos, my cameras are always there. I just turn a few things on and it's ready to record.
No.
Because I didn't do that for a long time. And I spent a lot of time doing the stuff that I hate, which is setting things up. I need to have something right in front of me ready to go, whether it's music or... I'm the kind of guy that spends 20 minutes looking through Netflix rather than watching a movie. And
Me too.
yeah, it's an idiotic thing to do. And if I was doing that with mics and cameras, I wouldn't get any work or creativity done. It would be ridiculous. So I had to find out the best way for me, and that was to be one day to be productive, planning Andy, and then the next day to let creative, silly Andy come out. And I found that works for me. And yeah, that's my experience with recording.
One one thing that I've also kind of started doing, I didn't realize this until I thought about it, is like there's like I feel like setup and then working through tech issues can be such a turn off for me. When I finally sit down to write, I'm just cranky and fed up and like not in that like pure, what a funny word, pure mind state, you know? So I've had days where I spend one day like experimenting with what I want to do and like trying out everything. I set it up and I leave it overnight, and then the next morning I just wake up and go. And I feel like I'm in a much better mindset that way. I'm like stoked to wake up.
I think that's a very, very good advice to kind of channel what you're doing and focus on one thing, like setting up or experimenting with sounds and then reevaluate the other day. I think that holds true for writing too. Like you already said, keep some bits and some pieces that you maybe are not 100% satisfied, and just re-listen to them the other day and see how you like them next day. I think that's a good point.
Yeah. Yeah,
I did that with
definitely.
songwriting all the time. It has to happen. I'm far too critical of my own stuff. End up creating nothing or deleting it, as you said. I end up deleting it. That's shit. And then, I like finding things from years ago, or finding things that I didn't finish and thinking, why didn't I finish that? That's actually pretty good. I think many of us suffer from that, but I am truly, criminal number one for that. Release nothing.
We should.
No,
Oh,
go ahead.
I was gonna say we should have a day where we just go through our phone recordings and all of our half-assed demos, and we have to play them publicly, and we get to decide if something's worth working on.
That would be a pretty cool live stream. Imagine, like,
Oh, so scary. So scary. I want to do it because it's so scary, but I feel a bit sick thinking about it.
Do you know one of my least favorite things is when I have to be in the same room like playing something for people that I made, because I feel like or vice versa. Like I remember one time I was trapped in the car in traffic with this guy who was showing me his like operatic singing, and I remember just being like really uncomfortable because he was driving and watching my face as I was like reacting real time to the what he was showing me, which is very shrill and operatic. Like you can probably imagine like what it sounds like. It was like a cappella too, so there's like no backing instrumentation. I was just like so uncomfortable. Like I wish that I had at least privacy to give him feedback, because he's just watching my face like in real time, and I'm really bad at hiding when something's like grating. But yeah, that'd be a funny one.
I do not
Yvette,
envy you.
in the process of writing the album, did you revisit a lot of old ideas, or was it just like most of the stuff that you came up like spontaneously and then developed the concept from there? Also, like you said, the story behind the song.
So this is kind of cool, but a lot of it came from gear demos. I'll like when I receive a pedal or something, most of the time, if I have the time, I want to like write something for the sound I hear. So that way I'm not forcing my melodies onto something, but I'm instead like actually showcasing what the piece of gear can do, and I'm letting it kind of be my muse, as cheesy as that is. But a lot of those melodies actually stuck with me so much that I was like, I want to, like, they deserve to be full songs. So I just kind of, one of the things I've been doing this week is I've been kind of filling in blanks where I don't have something. So like, for instance, one of the things that I did is missing an intro. So I'm working on that. I have a whole whiteboard system over there for after I do like a demo or something, and I like the melody, I like the idea, I think it has potential, I'll put it on the whiteboard. It's usually, the song will actually be named like, okay, like for instance, there's this pedal I play called the Slowly Melting. It's kind of like it sounds super fuzzy and like distorted, but it's actually like I think a reverb circuit, but I don't really know how to explain it. It just sounds super gristly and like gross and like fuzzy. But there's still clarity, which is why I really love it. And then there's a song called the Slowly Melting song, but it's not because I named it that because it sounds like slowly melting. It's just because that's quite literally the pedal that I used when I came up with the first idea. So, this is the line 6 spider song. I'm just kidding. There's like, I'm kidding. That's not. But
Now,
yeah, I don't know.
now it all
Are you?
becomes clear why the band back in the day was called POD.
Oh yeah, they used to.
Oh. Oh.
Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome.
But yeah, a lot of the songs came from just me demoing things and then realizing that I liked it so much I wanted to explore more. And I think that's been most of my process actually. I never sit down and like I need to write a song. It's always like just kind of exploring or playing with gear, and then something happens where I'm like, ooh, I found a direction, and then I just kind of keep on going with that until it's done. It's really hard to finish songs.
How do you know when something's finished? How do you know when it's done? Are you so super sure about that, or do you take it on the road, or do you change your mind?
That's a great question. I think in some ways songs to me are never finished because even to this day I catch myself changing things up live, be it like I'll use a different pedal or I'll like play something different technique or even add like you know different roots or something, or yeah, I'll like constantly kind of change up what I'm doing. But for me, I guess a song is finished when it accomplishes the thing that I intended it to do. So, and it flows well. I really care about flow. So for me, it's like if you can hum it all the way through and it feels good, and then it, I guess I'd much rather have something, I'd much rather leave a listener wanting more than to have something drag on for way too long and have people get bored of it. So sometimes I'll end up making something shorter because, it's kind of cool. They'll want to listen to it again, right? Rather than have like a 30-minute concerto where it's just like kind of a drag and redundant after a while. So yeah, I guess it's kind of like it's subjective. It's like when am I done? When is it accomplishing the emotion or feeling or story that I set forth in trying to achieve? Definitely playing it live helps. I think playing in a band context helps too, because sometimes when you hear everyone else and you hear it in a room real time, you're like, yeah, that hit just the way I wanted it to hit. So.
Does that mean like recording the solo album is also more challenging from that perspective compared to recording the COVID record?
I think when I'm by myself, I tend to be more streamlined because I have a certain workflow that I like. And, you know, a lot of the solo records I put out have been like largely unplanned. Like I have the main idea, the main song, but like all the layers and everything are kind of improvised in the moment. So it's been kind of a more spontaneous sort of thing. But I think in the studio, we're on label time, so it's like I can't afford to be inefficient like that. Like everything has to be kind of more structured. We have to be all well rehearsed. So it's just more respectful to everyone in that case. Like, even the producer, I think like I don't want to waste someone's time. I want to just go get it done, and that's it. So yeah.
I just want to open up to the people in the chat that are watching right now. If you have any questions for Yvette, then please write them in the chat. We'll maybe pick some good ones. We have one from Pooh Ninja already, which has what has been her most. I thought I got away with it. Pooh, you struck again. What has been her most? I missed it. It's gone off the screen. Inspirational bit of gear this year besides the guitar.
Shout out chorus pedals. They're so cool. Like I think any sort of modulation. I've been really loving. I think I've been playing through the Juliana. That's a walrus pedal. The Nunibird tri-chorus is incredible. Like that's probably one of my favorite choruses I played through. JC120, just that amp has. I want to buy that amp just for the chorus. It's so nice. I've been playing the Caroline Caroline guitar somersault. That one's like a really cool, I guess, lo-fi modulator sort of thing. I've been using the stutter thing where you hold it and it goes like, like, I been, what else? Oh, the Lo-Fi Junkie from Zvex. I got to do like a special one that I painted, and that one was really fun. So yeah, so that one I feel like I've been just you'll hear on the next record. It's just Yvette needs to be separated from her chorus pedals because she's using them like way too much. Oh, I will say the Yamaha THR, the built-in chorus in that is also freaking incredible. I remember I did a video and I recorded with the THR, just it was like even like a DI sort of thing. And someone was like, what pedal is that? I'm like, that's literally just the built-in chorus in the amp. Isn't it crazy good? Like sounds of course I did some like just like a little bit of production stuff on it, but like yeah, I just love that. I rediscovered the Boss DD3 and I have to I have like a cool one from the 80s. It's like an older one that I was gifted and I kind of just didn't know what to do with it until this like I guess playing live the last couple of shows and this upcoming record. I love doing the thing where you like turn, I guess you just max out the level and then you have it on what delay time is it right now? It's like 800 milliseconds or something. It's just a super fast like stutter and I've been like just putting that on select notes and it's just such a cool little glitch sound. So that's been really inspiring and really difficult for me to not overuse everywhere because it's just so playful.
Is that a momentary
actually,
switch?
Hmm?
Is it momentary so you can hold it down when you want? And awesome!
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, for me, I hit it and it's like, and then I like stop it. So it's just like that little. I didn't realize I'd be doing sheep impressions live for you guys, so sorry. A little bonus for y'all. I actually have a song on the board called the DD3 song because I wrote an entire song around that effect. So there's that. I got sent this pedal by Hologram Electronics called the Microcosm, and I have it here. It's within reach. It's so cool. Like there's just so many different ways you can use it. It's so versatile. My favorite one so far has been the interrupt setting with on the glitch mode. It just adds like really cool, unexpected little glitches to it. It sounds like a video game, or even like the thing I wrote on it ended up sounding like a pinball machine, which is really fun. And I don't know if I would ever use that live, just because I feel like it's so unpredictable, at least for the nature of what I do. But it was just really fun to play with, and I was smiling like a kid the whole time. The multi-delay is really beautiful as well. I think a lot of the newer stuff I'm going to be playing around with like stacking delays and stuff like that. So yeah, I bought a Digitech Freakout because
Awesome pedal. I love that thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if I have it near me. But I bought it just because I was like, wait a minute, like you can get the exact same feedback like every single time. Like that's pretty cool. And you can blend you can switch between like completely dry and having it be wet so that you can even just have like the feedback sound. It sounds like an EBO almost. So that one is really fun. It's great to use texturally, but also to fill in like gaps and stuff where you want something cool and kind of random to happen. So yeah. That one was one that I actually went out and bought. So
it sounds like you've been having amazing fun playing with toys and turning that playtime into creative productivity. I am so envious of hearing this and thinking, damn, I need to actually maybe do that rather than just work and actually have some playtime. I immediately want to go and get my lo-fi stuff and my delay pedals and plug them all in and do sheep noises.
You should. That's like, but honestly, like real talk with you guys, like I completely understand just being consumed with work, because that's been one of the things that I've been trying to juggle is just being an artist and staying passionate about what you do. If it's all work, then inevitably it chips away at your passion and it kind of makes it so that you dread doing the thing you love, unfortunately. just because it becomes somewhat of an obligation and there's just pressure and money involved. But on the other hand, like if you're just focusing on having fun, of course that's like a utopian dream. Like it's hard to not. You need to make money. Everyone has to hustle, right? Like everyone has to pay their bills. So it's kind of hard to find that sweet spot, that balance between the two. And I think I've myself have been leaning far too much into the work world. And I'm trying to do some scheduled experimentation time for myself because I think it's just good for your soul.
Organized
Sounds
fun.
like a proper. Yep.
Have fun now. For me, it goes in like a cycle of having amazing fun and then absolutely hating what I'm doing, and then just these. You know what I mean? And that cycle can be a cycle of a week or a day or an hour or a month.
It's like Bit Flipper, 1 and 0, Bit Flipper. I love my job. I hate my job. I love my job. I hate my job.
Yeah, it's
like
I have to confess that sometimes I think, oh God, not another pedal. Oh God, I have to play guitar again. And then I have to really check myself. I was like, what are you doing, you idiot? You know, you used to do terrible. You used to clean things for a job, or you used to look after other people's smelly children. You know, this is a great job. I get to look after my own smelly children. It's fantastic.
I try to like trick myself into thinking work is fun sometimes by like just making jokes. Like even making like a funny demo video for me is like that's a way for me to entertain myself. Is like, well, like it doesn't have to be all serious. Like you can it's a kind of like there's two advantages to it. Is on one hand you're like actually having fun just goofing around and experimenting and exploring, but then on the other hand I think that joy kind of translates to people who are watching the video as well, and I don't know, I think it makes the product look even cooler when you're actually like having fun with it instead of being like, this is a pedal, this switch does this. This is a latch switch that you can hold down to sustain. Like, you know, just I hate my life. Like stuff like that.
I've just recently started teaching my kids to play guitar. Like I was waiting for the moment when I never want to force anything on them like that. This says you must play music, even though I actually do think they must play music because of at the very least the social opportunities it will give them and the way they can actually learn math and language and stuff. But 3 days ago was the day when my son said, "Can I please have a guitar lesson?" And he's 4. And I said, yeah, sure. And then my daughter didn't want to be left out. She's 6, and she said, I want a guitar lesson. And they both have guitars and have had them for at least 3 years each, but they've always just been there to them. But now they've actually started taking it seriously. And today was the first time that the three of us played something together. They played an E chord, and I played something, you know, and just seeing the joy on their faces and this sort of new explosion of possibility in my daughter's face. My son was just like, what can I smash next? He hadn't, you know, he was doing it, but I could see in his head, like, I could probably go over and break something over there in a minute. He wasn't there. But my daughter was totally like, we just played a song. And I saw that happen in a musician and a fellow musician for the first time today. And I'm trying not to be that parent, but I'm so proud and so happy just to forget that it's my daughter, to see that happen. And even if she drops it tomorrow, she's had that experience today, and it's a wonderful thing to experience in the same room. I'm so proud, and it's built up my inspiration now.
That's incredible. First of all, congratulations that both of your kids
Thank you.
just showed natural interest in music. I think it's actually so cool that you're like not forcing it on them, but you're like kind of just giving them the tools and being like, do what you will, like, you know,
yeah,
for yourself if you
it's
like.
the only way I believe it. Don't get me wrong, I want them to. I so want them so hard, but I also don't believe that. I mean, like all those kids that had piano lessons and recorder lessons, and I've got to go. I must practice. I have to go and do this. I don't want them to have that relationship with music. I'd rather they had zero relationship than a negative one.
100%. Yeah, I was I was like forced into it, and I admittedly hated it for the longest time just because it was like so much pressure. But at the end of the day, I had my uh, I guess my aha moment where I was like, like I don't have to associate it with negative. Guitar was what actually made me fall back in love with um, music because it was something I did for myself on my own terms, just
Hmm.
teaching myself and learning like American football songs or whatever. I was like, this is sick. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have to hate music anymore. I don't have to. Then I think that's why I have such an aversion towards competition. It's just because like
Mm.
that's what I associated with like hating music. Like I hate music because it's just so much pressure and like why does it have to be a bummer for everyone? Why can't everyone win at the end of the day because they're having fun? So yeah, I don't know. That's my little tangent, but you're being a great parent. Not that I have any authority on that because I am not a parent, but
I'll take it. I'll take it. Official official statement. We had a question from Charlie earlier in the chat about which instruments you have played in the past and let's say did not do so well with, or it turned you in a negative way. And I'm hearing that the competitiveness of the piano playing was a big part of it. Was there anything else that you put your hand to and before you ended up on guitar?
I played in two orchestras. I was a violin player, and I was so garbage. Like, I hope my sorry, I hope my conductor isn't listening to this, but I would. That's where I really developed my ear. Like, I feel like it was all thanks to orchestra because I would never practice the music because I just, quite frankly, didn't like playing the same thing as everyone in a big group. I was like, I
Mhm.
want to like play this really expressively, but we have to play it super stoically, and it's not fun. Um, so I would not practice until the day before audition, and then I would just like listen to it a bunch and then just like play it right. Like it was awful. And so I remember the consequence of having a good ear and being able to just like copy something immediately and like get first chair or whatever. The consequences of that is whenever I had to like read music and like do a solo, I like couldn't do it. And I remember the conductor was like, "What the hell? Like, how did you get this far in audition, but like you can't read this, you know?" And I was just like, "Well, I just listened to it. Like, if you play it for me, I can play it." So yeah, I remember just hating that because there was a lot of pressure. It was also like really gossipy. Like everyone in orchestra just kind of talk shit about each other all the time, which I don't think was a great environment. And there was competitiveness for sure. Um, the music world can be quite, the classical one in particular can be quite cutthroat. I remember my cousin, she went to Juilliard. She was telling me about a story about how her roommate had a piano audition, and I guess somebody put razors in her practice room between the keys um,
Whoa.
on the piano. So she like cut her fingers and couldn't play. So just doing really slimy, awful things like that, like just that whole
No
world
way.
is just too much.
Awful.
Yeah, yeah. So I violin was also a thing where I loved playing it, but I didn't like the context in which I was forced to do it, which was the competitive circuit and like orchestra. Um,
Hmm.
and then, guitar was just something everyone was like, okay, like you can, I remember my parents got me my first acoustic. I was really lucky that they did that. And I just kind of took off with it with songwriting. And then after a while away, I fell back in love with piano. I think it's such a wonderful, it's actually the superior instrument for songwriting, I gotta say, just because it's so polyphonically intuitive. Like this,
Sure.
just like everything's linear
Yep.
and it's a chord is consistently the same. Like, I don't know, on guitar, there's like a million ways to play
Hmm.
something, but on piano, it's like reliable. So it's a great also for developing finger dexterity. Violin, I love. I have an electric violin that I plug into on my pedals now, and it's just so freaking cool. It's just a different beast than guitar. The fact that you can go like all microtonal with it as well, because
Hmm.
it's not fretted. Uh, so yeah, I just love everything now. I have a harp that I wanted to learn, but I just haven't had the time to. But I feel like one day when I retire and become like a hermit in the woods or something, I'm just gonna play harp. Um, and I have a banjo that I feel like I have on display, but it almost feels like I'm a poser or something because like I never play it. I used it two times for a specific timbre on a record, and that's it. So maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll learn banjo Maybe I'll be playing like banjo plugged into fuzz. But
Oh,
yeah.
don't tease me.
Ooh, yeah. That's a rabbit hole to go down.
That would actually sound brilliant because the head of the banjo would definitely resonate on certain notes. Stick the banjo in open tuning as well, so it's something nice. Oh, okay. I need a banjo. I had a banjo,
Yeah,
but I also felt like a poser, so I got rid of it.
yeah, I feel like I should probably get rid of it, but I think I'd rather get, the guitar that is like has banjo strings, but it's like a guitar. I feel like
Mhm.
I would flourish with that more because just having the high string be the first string is just like really and like trippy. I just can't wrap my pea brain around that. Like, so
I did that with my first ukulele. I bought an ukulele, a used one, and I thought, well, someone's clearly strung this incorrectly, so I changed the strings from the thinnest to the thickest and tuned it like a guitar. It took me a
that's so
good
funny.
6 months to realize that I was the one that had made the mistake.
That's so
Uh,
funny.
we have a question from the chat from Sarang to do with bandmates. We have, how do you deal with writing conflicts with other bandmates or co-writers? For instance, when someone who you're writing with or for thinks that your idea about a certain riff or a section doesn't work.
That is a great question. Being in a band is hard. It's fun, but it's like really hard because sometimes you can have too many cooks in the kitchen. Um,
Mhm.
and one thing I'm just going to be vulnerable here. One thing that I've struggled with is um, figuring out how to get my idea across without coming across like I am stifling other people's ideas and I'm just making them feel like their ideas aren't important. And there's like a very like my rule is if someone has an idea in the studio, we'll audition it, like we'll try it, but at the end of the day, what's gonna win is what serves the song. So I feel like the general rule is everyone leaves their egos at the door. It's not personal if we don't choose your idea. It's just like we have to go with what's best because ultimately that'll serve us all long term. Um, and I'm lucky in that I write everything, so it's like I really rarely will come across that situation just because it's like, well, here's, the idea already. Like you just do what you feel like complements that. And sometimes I'll even have bass lines like already written. For a lot of the new stuff, like a lot of the bass is like stuff I already I have a very specific movement that I want, like some different like counterpoint as stuff. So it's like, yeah, I feel like I'm lucky in that my bandmates are okay with that. We do run into conflicts where it's like sometimes I feel like I want something to be less embellished, like more simple. But I think for sometimes certain musicians, I feel like more is like cooler or like better. But I think it's so important for music to have moments where it breathes and moments where it's just like a more laid back, simple groove. And then it makes the impressive, like more notey sections stand out even more,
Mhm.
just by contrast. So that's like the main thing I struggle with is I'm like, oh, could you chill out here? Like, could you just like do a drone? Like, and I'll chill out too. Like I literally will scrap sections sometimes because I'm like, you know what? Like this deserves a drum solo. This deserves like my bass player can play with his effects. So I'm not gonna do anything busy here. It makes my life easier. I can think about like food or something while I play that section, and then like I can tune back in when they're done. Yeah, but um, I guess like short answer to everything I just rambled on about it would be like I guess just make sure that everyone at least gets their ideas heard and like even you can try it out, but then at the end of the day it can be like a democratic process for what you think serves the music the most because it's not
Mhm.
serving yourself, it's serving music in general.
Mhm.
I've been in
Excellent
so many
point. Yeah.
bands that did not operate with that kind of thinking.
I know, I
But yeah,
know. I
that's
believe
that's how
me.
you get professional, by thinking like that and leaving
I think
egos
there's
elsewhere.
I think there's also merit in being like, no, this is how we're going to do it. Because sometimes when a time crunch, that's simply not possible. Like, it's a privilege to be able to do that. Like, when
Mhm.
you're operating under deadlines and stuff, sometimes you just have to, there has to be a boss, I think. There can be two bosses, but I think like somebody has to take charge and lead. Otherwise, I think things kind of just stay in limbo and no decisions get made. So,
Yep.
I think both are valid. It's just musicians can have really funny egos and like I don't know, feelings can get hurt really easily. So I want
We're
everyone to be
fragile. We're
happy.
so fragile.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. But
can we talk a bit about the guitar, Yvette? Because you're holding it, you're cuddling it, you're hugging it, and Dan has one, and you have one, and I don't have one.
oh, you can Photoshop one on you.
Yeah, or Dan can throw it over.
I think,
So this
I
one
think
has
he wants
gone.
me to send one. He wants me to send one over.
That would be a good idea, Dan. I hear you loud and clear. I played the YY10 with you at NAMM whenever that was, and I love the neck on it, and that's it. Just as a guitar, had it not had that neck, I would have been less interested. But as the neck, I was suddenly open to the other sides, apart from the sparkle. But now we've got the YY20. You've gone less pickups. So why have we gone from S type to T type, and what was the thinking behind the finish? And tell us all about it.
I started playing telly pickups actually. Like I started on a pair of Bill Lawrence's back in the day. Like there were these like custom hand wound ones which were really cool. That was my first electric guitar, and I've always I went from telly thinking that I was like only a telly person, and then I remember Ibanez sent me the the Talman with the Seymour Duncan 5.2 Strat set, and I remember just being like, wait, this is sick. Like it sounds so cool with some of the stuff I'm playing, and it actually really resonates with me. So this one's kind of like a call to my roots. Just starting out on a Telecaster, having I guess the Alnico 2 Tele set. I think that's the ones that are in there. For Seymour Duncan, they sound kind of just like the one I started out on. They got more twang. It's just a different sound to experiment with. So I feel like I already did something with the Strat configuration, and now it's time to please the tele aficionados with an orange sparkly guitar.
Was the color already decided on from the get-go? Because that's like chapter 2 of your sparkle story, so to say. Like the green one.
Yeah. Oh, are you guys there?
Yeah, we're
Yep.
still here.
Okay, sorry, it froze on my phone a little bit.
Oh no! And then she left. No, we lost her. Well, let's hope she calls back. In the meantime, I want to say something along the lines of the fact that I think, oh, she's back. Then I'll hold that thought till when she comes back. Hang on, there she goes. There she is.
Welcome
Hi,
back.
Yvette. Welcome back.
Greetings. I knew something was up. I was like, I'm about to get kicked out. Yeah.
I didn't touch it.
With the color, I was like, well, everyone, like, I wanted to do something really gross and polarizing for the first color. So I was like, slime green. And then I'm like, all right, I'll do something a little more like approachable. I want to do the pink one. I think I'm going to save that one for a future release. But I think orange is a really nice, like, genderless color. Kind of like, it reminds me of just, I don't know, 80s cars and like kind of like the super large flake glitter finishes that I guess were popular in like furniture and like cars back then.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to imitate that with this one. And yeah, I love orange.
I think from the looks alone, I foresee this being even more successful than the 10. I think it works really, really well. I think the orange, as you said, has a wider appeal, and I just love the way that the metallic, the tele neck pickup just fits the metallic sparkle so well. There's just so much going on, and
Yeah.
of course, I wish you all the best with it, but I think you're going to have even more success with this model.
Yeah, I'm excited that I have an opportunity to even roll this one out. And yeah, I just think I like having variety for people to pick from. I don't want to just do the same thing again. Like, I think it'd be cool because then people who already have the YY10, if they wanted a television of a Talman, then they have this one to look forward to too.
Also,
we have a
you gotta.
question. Sorry, Dan.
Yeah. No, I was just making a point. You gotta give Yvette props for like passing the Tallman torch on to the next generation, because like I think the Noodles guitar, it's a revision of the Tallman, and this one is like are the only Tallman models in the lineup, and I think that's pretty cool to see such a shape that is cool, and it's still being sold in several revisions, but it's not necessarily like the top shape that people would pick from. They prefer their RGs over Tallmans, obviously, but to see that in the signature realm as a part of her style and of Yvette's artistry is just something that I highly appreciate, because to me it's like a proper signature guitar. It's got so many idiosyncrasies, like the locking tuners. Greetings to Henning, by the way.
Yeah.
The sparkle finish, the pickups, and also the fat neck, which is very un-Ibanez-esque. It's very meaty, and it's a very comfy kind of almost vintage style grip. And the sum of all those parts, it's just like it screams a signature model, and this is so great. It's not just like a regular production guitar with a fancy paint job and that's it. No, it's really like Yvette's guitar, and it oozes her style, and I really dig it. So you can have a lot of fun with that.
I got to give a shout out to Mike for even letting me try these, because I remember I always associated like Ibanez with like just a certain like metal sound, like and I remember at the time I was quite new to electric guitar, and I was like, I don't really know what I even like wanted or liked yet. So he let me try this out, and I immediately I feel like I bonded with it like right off the bat, because I started writing so much music on it, and it just felt really comfy to me. I think it's a nice, like aesthetically speaking, it's not like one of the pointier Ibanez guitars that like is popular in metal, but I think it's cool to branch out, right? Like I think it's cool to have a line of guitars that appeal to all kinds of players instead of just like one niche or whatever. So I think a lot of people who play like indie or shoegaze or math rock or all of that can appreciate something like this, even like aesthetically, but also sonically, you know?
Yeah, true. It's for me, it screams a little bit more Squire Tornado and these sort of quirky kind of almost classic shapes. And the Tallman, I think Ibanez make a mistake by not having more Tallmans in the lineup. I think, and since you've released yours, I know that people have been asking even more so. And someone in the chat asked for one with the lipstick pickup, and I really hope that Ibanez are going to bring even more into the range. Although I kind of like that it's cool that the only ones are yours at the moment. But the Tallman, I've played a Tallman bass, and they're extremely comfortable, even as a bigger guy. We have a question from Jedrek Roscoe. Does it have comfort carves for the arm?
I don't believe, is a comfort carve like that flat surface thing that?
Yeah, it's kind of tapered. Yeah, so
tapered?
Stratty. It looks like it for me.
Yeah, it's comfortable.
Like a telly, a straight telly has like the one behind me over there is a slab of wood with straight edges, cut, and that one looks contoured.
That's contoured body, yeah. It's not a bevel, like
contoured.
deeply carved to the wood, but yeah. Did you experiment with a lot of shapes, Yvette, or was that like the original shape that they sent you as a prototype to try out?
I just sorry, I have a cough. I just went with the original shape that they sent me. I always thought it was comfortable, like for me, as long as it wasn't too heavy and put a strain on my back. Like that's really the only thing. I think I most of the time play standing up, to be honest. So for me, I think one of my AirPods died. Okay.
Oh no, is it the side that I'm on or the side that Dan's on? This could be a really interesting conversation.
It's just one side. I think there's still some life left though. While we talk, I'm gonna look for headphones that I can plug into my phone. Oh, I have a backup set of AirPods. Actually, I'll get those.
Right.
Sorry for all the tech issues.
No worries.
Not at all.
That's part of the podcast. That's like a good tradition to have like at least a handful of tech issues. But what I also found remarkable is that you didn't go for like basswood or mahogany. So this guitar is based on alder as wood, and alder is one of my preferred tone woods, but preferred woods. Careful. Because I really dig the tone. I really dig the tone of Alder. Was that a conscious decision, or just like a coincidence that you were?
We actually modeled it after. Sorry, you can talk.
Hang on, we have to wait just a second for your voice to come back.
There she is. There she is.
Hello.
Almost.
Hey.
Now we're getting phone audio.
Hello.
I think that's right. I think that sounds fine.
Yeah.
Is this okay? Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
great. Wonderful. Yeah, you're back. Hello.
Hello. Sorry about that. Yeah. You had a. So the question was, oh, damn it! Is it doing it again?
No worries. I was just asking. Was choosing Alder as the body wood, was that like a conscious decision or just a coincidence because you got this wood to try out? Because it's not like a usual wood that Ibanez would be using. We have a lot of basswood and mahogany and that kind of stuff, or even poplar. But was that, or ash? Was that the conscious decision from your side, like tone decision, or?
There's this guitar that they gave me to try out. I'm trying to find it right now.
Oh wow!
There's here. It's damn it.
Now it's turning into guitar stories.
It's exciting.
Jeez. Okay.
And I'm trying to
I
read
need,
the whiteboard
like-
behind you whilst you're doing that.
Oh, it's just
Careful.
it's hieroglyphs. It's like a song. It's my song structure, which looks like an SAT math question, unfortunately. But yeah, there's this Tommen that they sent me, and I told Mike just whatever this guitar is, just do that because I'm like really. I know this one has the Strat pickup configuration, but I was just like I really love how this one sounds, whatever wood was used in this one. So I think that was just, I didn't really know much about wood in general, but I just loved the tone of this one. And then when he sent me that, I was like, yeah, that nails it. So yeah,
Great.
but sorry if I don't have a more interesting answer to that
No,
one.
no. That's just perfect because
That is
if you
interesting.
liked the tone, yeah, absolutely.
If it's right, then it's right, and I really enjoy that.
Yeah, it makes it stand out even more. As we talk guitars, I just recently saw that you also got gifted a super cool looking guitar from Bonvillain Studios. Do you have that around?
Yes,
Because
that one has,
that looked
I do.
He was in the chat
amazing.
earlier. I don't know if you're still here. David, isn't it?
Yep, correct.
David was in the chat
David.
earlier. I don't know if he's still here. Maybe he is, but there on the back. Rawr.
He's incredible.
There you
Yeah,
got the
I was
lipsticks. There you go.
Lipsticks. Yeah, maybe I'll do a lipstick one next.
Oh yeah.
Pretty cool. So that's like a repainted original 90s Telecaster. Tommen Telecaster.
Yeah, he does such cool hydro dipping, hydro finish. It's called hydro dipping, right?
Yep.
The kind of swirly paint thing. Yeah, he kills these, and like I guess this one has like UV paint in it, so if you like put a light over it, it just looks like insane. And yeah, I had never played through lipstick pickups before, and I remember plugging it in. It just sounds like so sassy. It's just got like way more attitude than all my other Talmans. So it was really funny. I was like, I wish like I recorded the first the bar, the way we barfed out. But yeah, the first time I plugged into it and played it, I was just like chuckling at how it sounded because it was just so like almost like cartoonish, like a super exact. It sounded, I don't know how to explain it. It just sounds so sassy and like funny, but cool. Like it definitely inspired me. I feel like a lot of like the bends and stuff sounded like so much. I had a lot more character. So I definitely would consider doing a Talman with these kinds of pickups. I just like haven't really found a way to incorporate it into like my current sound yet live, but I will because I always want to do something new.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, that is phenomenal looking. I even like the pearl guard on it.
Yeah, it's like what? Just let's just go super extra, right? Let's just
Yeah, it
it
works.
already looks crazy. So he's working. I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but he's working on another one for me right now that it's basically like my dream Talman. So it's it's so
Ooh.
beautiful, and he's been so gracious. Um, I'm just trying to figure out what sort of pickups to put in it right now. So yeah,
All of them. Put all of
it's
the pickups in.
green.
Green.
Every
All right.
pickup.
Every pickup.
Every.
Well, you need to do P90. Something needs a P90 at some point.
Yeah,
Just
I
because
actually
of,
was talking with my friend about that. Go ahead.
no, just because I think you should do one in every pickup configuration, and then you have everything. The whole Yvette Young range of Tolmans, P90s, active. For your future active needs. Yeah.
Yeah, just a couple of EMG.
Yeah.
Active
Fishman
needs.
Fluence.
That's what was that?
I was just saying like Fishman Fluence pickups, like the most aggressive sounding modern pickups, and then you combine it with such a like more traditionally oriented guitar. That would be hilarious, but also could be interesting tone wise. Never say never.
I actually, I have some advice that I would like is I have a BC Rich Warlock that's Insane Clown Posse themed. Like it's not a sticker. It's like I
Yeah,
wish.
you showed
Do
us
I
last
have it with
show.
me here?
Yeah, you featured it on
Yeah.
the show we did.
Okay.
I remember it well.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I want to know like what I don't even I can't decide if I want to make. I think I should make it sound like really good, right? Like I should make it like an actual super functional great guitar, but it just looks like super cringe. So I'm like open to suggestions as to what sort of pickups I should put in that thing. I think it would be funny to play like really beautiful, like kind of like melodic, twinkly stuff on it, like just because
Yes.
it's such a clash visually.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'd love to open that up to the people in the chat because I don't think there is a correct answer to that. And I think that's a wonderful journey you could take in testing things. And also on your social medias, I'm sure people would have opinions and help you.
True.
I mean, I want to say something classic, like if it's got, is it humbucker in there at the moment? Is it HH?
There's nothing. So like I could
Oh.
literally do anything I want. So
I mean, lipsticks would be the funniest.
that would actually be I would love to have a BC Rich with lipstick.
It's the contrast
BC
there is-
lipstick.
BC
BC lipstick. Oh, maybe Dave has a great
Oh.
idea how to repaint it and reconfigure that.
I just want to bring it out for one song.
All
Just
right,
one
okay.
song. But yeah, it's funny. I'll figure it out. The right answer will come to me one day.
I feel wrong advising you because I don't feel there is a right answer, but I do feel there are several really funny answers, such as the lipstick one. But I mean, yeah, just you can't really go wrong with some P90s in that. I'd like to have a P90 BC Rich because you got this like classic pickup and this rather audacious body shape. But
And a big ICP logo to boot. So
or just throw in like 6 pickups, but only have one wired up, so you've got like everything in there, and then it comes out sounding. Have an onboard Sustainiac. You could have like the pickup that sustains. Is it Sustainiac? Am I saying the right word there, Dan?
Like an Ebo.
Yeah, it's got like a built-in EBO into the pickup. You could do some
That's so
beautiful
funny.
stuff with that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, do that Sustainiac pickup, please.
my goal is to finally get pickups in that thing so I can start like another Instagram where I only play that guitar and like do like funny covers or something.
Well, I know we have some pickup makers that tune into the show and to my YouTube channel, so I'm sure they could offer you some kind of suggestions, something beautiful. I got a +1 on the Sustainiac. I really think you should do Sustainiac. That would be amazing because it basically turns the guitar into
I'll
like a
look
cello.
into it. That'd be
And then-
super funny to
Take the frets off, sustainiac pickup, done. And you've got this microtonal fretless cello guitar.
That's a BC Ridge Warlock. Like,
Yes.
I like the fretless idea.
that's so funny. I might just have to do it.
Yeah.
I won't be offended if you don't, but I'll be very amused if you do. But that would actually make it good, and I could see that fitting with your style.
It's my passion project right now. So.
And
Cool.
now it's mine, also.
You're all invested.
I truly am. I've been invested since the last show. I can't believe it's not finished already.
I know. I had all 2 years to work on it. Like I just didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't.
And
Instead, I
making
wrote an
music
album.
instead.
Jeez. Like.
Yeah. What are
I
you
know.
doing? How dare you?
Dang it.
Listen, we've come over 2 hours and we've had lots of your time, and I want you back for a third show, so I don't want to keep you too long today. But before we let you go, I've just opened an eBay auction today, auctioning off some limited edition Guitar Geek merchandise, which is a tree hanger made by the lovely SJ. And we're raising money for charity, so we're just going to go back to the eBay auction to see what we're currently on and see if we can use Yvette Young's power and strength to increase that number. Are you ready, Yvette? We're currently at £52 with 6 days and 22 hours to go. So if you love Yvette, which I'm sure you do, and if you don't, you should, also love these things, which are going to raise money for charity. Charlie Cooper says it's going to be his. Charlie Cooper is in fact the highest bidder at £52. Okay, Charlie from
There you go.
Orange, please increase that. Yeah, you don't have to push it, Yvette. I just wanted to use your power and influence within this podcast show right now to give it some good vibes.
It's a
But
great
yeah,
ornament.
I thank you. I didn't make it. I just provided the face and the hair. I didn't provide the hair. It's not my hair. I provided the look of the hair.
It should come with a clip of your hair.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. If it reaches, give me a number, Yvette. What number does it need to have my hair? I will give a lock of my hair. Ugh.
69.
All
Yes.
right.
69 British pounds, and you will get some of my actual hair. Charlie says if I
sorry.
win... Charlie, as you're a friend, and I find it utterly disgusting to send pieces of hair, you're getting hair regardless. If you win, you're getting hair. Possibly even some skin scrapings. I don't know. Something personal.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's taken a weird thing. It must be 11:15 at night.
Yep.
Yeah. Yvette, thank you so much. I'll be honest, I feel a bit weird this time. It feels more low key. I think we've actually been doing stuff since we talked last. So, we were all hyper last time, and this time is rather a serious one.
Well, it's because you didn't do your darkness impression.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Yvette, can I tell you a secret?
Yes.
Just you, okay? No one else is listening. There is a
Okay,
chance.
yeah.
No one else is listening. Everybody else switch off. There is a chance we may be getting a member of the darkness on this podcast. And yes,
Wow,
it is
that's
the one
amazing.
you're thinking of.
The drummer.
That's so cool. I'm such a fan.
The first drummer, the original drummer.
I'm such a fan. I'll have to tune in
yeah.
for that one. That's so cool.
Yeah.
You'll need to send us a video request because we're this close to that happening. But we're lucky enough to have
Oh,
great people on this show. So send us a little video, begging that person to make a decision, and and you can come on and say hi. Hello.
Oh, that would actually be funny.
are they on the?
That would be funny.
But yeah, you should just not explain who I am at all, and just I'm
No.
just sitting in the corner, like. Or maybe I could wear a wig and I could be you.
Yes.
Like, and I could be Andy.
Yes. I mean, I I'm pretty sure this person doesn't know who I am, so why not?
They'd be like, you didn't look Asian from your other videos, but I guess like
It's the webcam. It's a filter.
that'd be super funny. That's so cool though. Oh, I think that'll for sure be an interesting guest. What has been
definitely
the
shouldn't have said
craziest
that.
thing? What has been the craziest thing that's happened on your show, like in all of history?
The craziest thing. That's
a good question.
I
I
mean,
remember
we
this one
started on
time someone came on with a BC Rich Warlock. That was weird. No, Dan, you're right. We probably are the only podcast to do this. If I'm not going to give it away, Dan, please.
Yeah, I was
please
just
tell
making
that
fun.
story.
We started on a plane, like on our flight to Namsho. I think that's pretty awkward to some degree to like start a podcast like when you have a couple people sitting around you and you're like several thousand feet up in
Trying
the air.
to sleep.
Trying to sleep, yeah, and you're rambling on and guitar here, amp there, pedal there, and blah blah blah. That's kind of But apart from that, I think we're blessed to have so many great guests on the show, and especially with season 3 now we are, with reoccurring guests like you, Yvette, and it's just a pleasure to see and kind of catch on where we left off last time, and take it from there and see just what happened, because we're still stuck in that crazy pandemic situation, but still everyone is kind of thriving. Some people more, some people less, but everyone is kind of making progress and making the best out of it, and it's super cool to see that the community is even more tightly knit. At least I feel it that way, and it's a very positive community. In our chat we have 50 plus people online chatting all the time, and we're here we're hearing so many great stories and get to see cool gear. I feel super blessed. That's just all what that podcast is about, to have a good time and chat with cool people.
I have an answer for your
it's
question
always
about the crazy
so
stuff.
fun.
It's gonna sound
Go for
super
it.
cheesy and awful and bleh, but it's the fact that anybody is actually listening and or watching, and then we get messages about people listening. Because as far as I'm concerned, I'm just talking to you two right now, and then there's messages of people that I kind of know in the chat, and you're part of my life. But then someone will message me like, I was driving through Wichita, and I was listening to your podcast. Like, that's weird. Just the corners of the earth that we've reached with whatever this is, and hopefully we continue to spread just a bit of fun and positivity and some bullshit. That's all I really want.
I know just from the few episodes that I've seen is you guys do a great job of like being informative but also having a blast. Like, what was the thing I sat in on, the burn,
Biboro burn.
Yeah, I love that. That's so savage.
Hang on, can I play the sting?
Fun.
Hang on, I'll play the sting. Here we go.
Buy, borrow, or burn.
No, just because I heard it.
The clown nose.
Yeah,
Just like at the end.
you can't go wrong with a. Thank you, Yvette. I love doing this podcast. I genuinely wouldn't do it if I didn't love it, because what's the point? I can choose not to. And my only sad thing is that Dan and I aren't in the same room. I would love it if Dan and I were actually in the same room, and it almost happened last week and it didn't. It will happen at some point. It did happen in September, but that was weird because we were also with about 50 other people. But
Even better would be
good.
be in the same room, not just with you, but also with Yvette.
Even better.
right?
I'm actually coming to the UK in February. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. So maybe if you wanted to do anything, I definitely would have time to.
All right.
Maybe we could show each other our demos and.
I think I'm busy that week. Pretty sure I'm busy. Doing anything else.
Yvette, whenever there will be a chance to have you here for clinics, I'll make sure that Andy will attend as well, and then he will have to show the phone and we go through the demos.
I don't have a phone.
That would be so fun. You
I haven't
don't?
owned a phone since 1996.
Wow. Truly off the grid.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He'll be bringing his Nokia 3210 or something.
Oh, God, I miss that phone. I miss that phone dearly.
Do you still have it?
I actually still have my 3310 somewhere.
Wow.
Great.
Got some mean snake scores on it. Yeah. All right. I promise that I will exchange demos with you should we ever be in the same room and have enough time to do so. Deal. The deal is on.
Amazing.
All right.
But yeah, I'd love to be able to say hey in person. You know, it's so weird. Like, who knows what's gonna happen with yeah, but you know, if not, then I'm happy to do this kind of cyber hangout format again. It's always a blast.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I know the people in the chat have really enjoyed it because I don't read out the compliments because they're just embarrassingly positive. So imagine that everybody loves you and that's what the chat is saying.
He's not
appreciate
exaggerating.
it.
Like, yeah, he's not exaggerating at all. It's like, I love this woman. That chick is great.
Yeah, this is the best show ever.
Aw,
Yeah.
oh, you guys, I'm gonna cry live.
Yay! The goal
That
has
would be a
been
first
reached.
in the show. That would be first in the show, right?
Yeah, it would. Actually, we've never had a storm off before. I'd quite like someone to storm off. That would be great.
Or maybe Justin will
Oh,
be
man.
storming off. Yeah.
Justin who? We didn't mention any
I don't
names.
know. Yeah, I didn't.
Oh,
know.
true, yeah. Who's that? Justin Bieber? That's crazy.
Oh, I imagine we had Justin Bieber on the show. That'd be amazing.
Wild. That's probably gonna be a crazy moment for,
Yeah.
for the show is having Justin Bieber.
I think that would also be a very awkward moment.
He's a great drummer. Have you heard him play drums?
No,
He's an amazing
really?
drummer. Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't know.
Yeah, he kicks ass on the drums, but
Wow.
yeah, I'd have him on the show. Why the heck not?
Yeah, sure. I mean, everyone could be on the show, of course, but not not everyone would be as lovely as Yvette, and
Aw, you guys.
he wouldn't be a reoccurring guest too, because Yvette already is the second time here. Whilst Henning, for instance, last week had a premiere at our show. So
He had to wait 55 episodes. But yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us again, Yvette. It's been an absolute blast. And I hope we don't have to wait until you release a lipstick-equipped pink sparkle to have you back. I hope that you can just come back anytime you want. And if you ever want to come back, the link that we've sent you this week generally works all the time. So just press the button and see what happens.
Wait, I can just show up, like unannounced. I can just show up.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have told me that. I'm just
The thing, honestly, Yvette, honestly, Dan, I embrace chaos, and I'm trying to have this thing where like 6 people show up in a show, but no one has been asked to, no one, you know, is allowed to. I think that's just awesome fun, especially if it's like a serious show, and then suddenly someone just shows up unannounced.
I'm gonna try to give the link to the most random people I can think of.
Yes, do it. Do it.
Oh boy, that would be lovely.
I'm gonna do some brainstorming. I'm trying to think of like the weirdest, most like unexpected person that I actually know that I could convince to come into your chat.
I'd be embarrassing if I didn't know who they
Oh,
were. Hello.
How would you feel about Jackie Chan coming in?
What?
That'd be hella funny.
Yes, it would.
Do you know Jackie Chan?
That'd be so. I don't personally know Jackie Chan, but I don't know if he would even come onto the chat. But I guess like my for some reason he knows my uncle who lives in Australia. Like they're just the same generation, you know. So it's not like even like a celebrity thing. It's just like they just happen to have been in the same circle. So that would be really funny.
All right.
I have no idea what I would talk to Jackie Chan about, but yes. I want to see him beat someone with an Ibanez Talman. Jackie Chan's amazing. I love that guy. Okay, well,
we didn't even get to talk. We didn't even. Oh, go ahead.
Didn't even what? We have time.
Oh, I was gonna say we didn't even get to talk about how great of a weapon this thing is, to be honest.
Go on. Go on. We've almost left the
Like,
show 3
it's
times
just
now.
like-
Let's stay.
You complained that it wasn't chaotic enough, so I'm like, all right,
Exactly.
let's just like open up. I think this could be like, honestly, it could be a great tool to like bludgeon someone with, maybe. Like it's got a significant weight to it. It's contoured, right? So it's just got like certain points that have a little more impact. The headstock with these locking tuners, you could definitely get a couple of whacks in without losing any intonation on your strings. I don't know. What more is there to want out of a guitar?
That's perfect.
May I
mean, if
suggest that when you release the next version, you do it. Have you seen Glow, Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling? I've just been watching that recently. You could like have a wrestling
No.
ring and you could use guitars as weapons. That would be amazing. There's my pitch for your
that would
next
have the
advertisement.
I would hate the YouTube comment section of that. It would be so creepy and like it's weird.
Yeah, but it would also be pretty meta.
It would. Maybe on the next signature I'll get like a gun attachment
Sure.
for like where maybe the tremolo system would go.
Yeah, sounds efficient.
yeah, sounds very American.
It does sound
Oh
very
yeah,
American.
you know. I hate that.
Yeah, I hate that. I hate that so much. I want it to happen.
A Nerf gun. Maybe a Nerf gun. Or a
There
paintball.
we go.
Now we're talking. Now we're talking. If your drummer is
There we
not,
go.
if the tempo is not right, you just grab the gun and just let him know. Come on, speed up, dude.
That'd be great. Like a great way to get your bandmates' attention.
Yeah.
What about a water pistol, but you fill it with like Mountain Dew or something like that? Then you could refresh yourself whilst playing.
Oh man.
It's even more child friendly.
All right. I think Yvette
But
got
then
it.
you'd get it all over. Oh, what was that?
Just go. Just go.
What was that, Dan?
I just want to say, I think Yvette needs to talk to Mike to discuss a couple ideas.
T-shirt cannon, definitely. Like you could just blow your merch out to the audience, like through your guitar.
I love it. I love it.
Better.
Okay. Well, the next show is going to be interesting. I look forward to talking to your uncle's friend. If we have
So double feature. Next time Yvette's on the podcast, it will be double feature. Yvette Young and Jackie Chan.
why not?
I would freak out. I
I know.
haven't spoken to him, so
I've got an idea. I'll bring one of my uncle's friends, and Dan, you bring. Have you got an uncle? If not, find one and bring one of their. And that's the theme of the show. Yours just happens to be Jackie Chan.
It's just our uncles, friends who have nothing in common at all.
Yeah.
They don't even know why they're here. They're just like,
Yeah.
okay, can I leave?
And then we leave.
Yeah, the uncle's edition, and then they got to talk.
Let them-
but on the
let them do
other hand,
it.
I mean, I had the pleasure to talk to your mom a couple weeks ago, and that was super cool because she was telling Andy stories.
Wait, my mom?
no,
Spoke to
Andy's mom.
Yvette's mum. Oh, my mum.
I was like, whoa, hello?
No.
My mum was on the podcast, filling in for me for a good 10 minutes. It was glorious. It was wonderful. She was amazing. She was a hit.
So sweet.
Yeah. She did a great job.
Yeah. I quite like to put my
I'll have
mum
to catch
and
that
Jackie
episode.
Chan on because my mum would have no idea who he is, and then he obviously would have no idea who she is, or maybe he does. That would be weird.
Oh yes.
Oh, and Justin Bieber.
He'd be laying down the beats. Justin Bieber. All right. I'm going to leave now. You two can stay if you want, but I'm going to go.
I just want to say thank you so much for having me do this. It's always such like, I don't know, it's just super uplifting and fun to hang out with you guys and talk about gear, talk about music. Thanks for also always letting me feature my signature every single time I'm on here. So I just really appreciate it, and you guys are great.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, and thanks for
You're
joining
very,
us.
very welcome. Next time, more BC Rich, please.
And next time, you gotta sing. You gotta sing for us, Andy.
I will sing for you next time also.
I'll hold you to that.
Good. And
Promise me.
Dan has to do some mime or
Yeah,
Rubik's Cube or something like
Wait,
this.
what's your
Something-
secret? Do you have a secret talent, Dan? Like something that not a lot of people know that you can do that you're like really good at? Or you're not even really good, just like enjoy doing.
I sing under the shower, so
Okay.
I have a rather high voice. When I sing, I can get to very high registers. So I think that's something that
Wow.
not a lot of people know. Yeah.
I can second that. I've heard you jokingly sing several times, and I'm thinking, damn,
Yeah.
Dan, that's some high notes you're getting.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe that would blend in the mix. So we'll see next time.
Maybe
I
you should
think
be
you-
the one doing darkness covers.
Definitely. I wonder what Dan's secret skill is. I'm totally intrigued now. You must have something. I'm going to bug you for the next couple of days, finding out what it is.
Next
Well,
time. You can think about it for a year.
I've got a pretty obvious superpower, which is knowing how to handle Ibanez SKU numbers. I'm schooling
Yeah.
everyone in that. So yeah.
Yeah, you
I think
do
that's
know
like
that
Did you
weird
say you're?
language.
Did you
again?
say you're skewing everyone?
I'm schooling people that you know.
But did you say skewing everyone? Is that
No,
what you said?
Yeah, skewing about the SKUs. Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
I was like, I hope he did that on purpose.
No, but it was super good, wasn't it? Oh.
can we edit that
Lovely.
so
Sorry,
it
you probably-
seems smooth?
Do a zoom. Do a zoom on him laughing.
Good Lord. Okay, well,
Oh, boy.
I'm calling it.
Chaos.
Yes,
I'm calling-
it's 11 o'clock.
I welcome the
Europe.
chaos. I now
Alright.
wish the chaos to leave.
Okay. You guys have a good night.
You have a
I
great
shall.
day, Yvette.
Thank you for the smiles. It's been really fun.
course,
Dan is going to ask
always.
everybody listening on the podcast edition to go and rate us 5 stars. Dan, would you please do that?
Of course, grab your girlfriend's iPhone, your dog's iPhone, or your old Nokia 3210, and make sure to.
Or Jackie Chan's iPhone.
Or Jackie Chan's iPhone, and make sure to give us a 5-star rating on iTunes so we can keep on doing this wonderful hobby and have great guests on the show and be more visible and have more listeners and viewers on YouTube. Thank you.
Do it.
All right.
Do it. Yeah, Yvette said do it, so come on, do it.
Do it. Show some love.
Do it. Okay. I don't know how to end this, so goodbye.
Have a good
Goodbye.
Have a great
See
night.
you soon, hopefully. Take care.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Guitar Stories Podcast, your #1 show for everything.